Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Snow Canyon High School, Warriors Stadium. It is time to play some high school football, Region 9 football, coming at you right here on your home for local sports, ESPN 97.7 FM. Carrick Segmiller, Big Game, James Guerin hanging out with you here at Warriors Stadium. Andy Thompson, Rustin Burnside both have the night off, James. But, hey, we got you for the next 3 hours. You guys have to hang out with us, but we're excited about it. Snow Canyon, Centennial out of Las Vegas, Nevada, set to battle here at Warrior Stadium.
It is going to be an interesting game because we don't see this team very often. Of course, coming out of Las Vegas, Nevada, also in the 4A level over there in Nevada. But all week long, we've been wondering how is this weather going to shape up for us today. And Carrick, it looks like it's still going to be a little bit cloudy, maybe shower a little bit, but those lightning storms, we haven't seen those for quite some time now.
I tell you what, last night was something else. I had to pick my son up from football practice. He's a 7th grader playing tackle football for the first time, but picked him up at about 8:05. By the time we got home at 8:30, the storm had moved in, and it was nuts, lightning everywhere. And I'm just thinking, I hope we don't have a repeat performance tonight, or we're going to bow to Mother Nature, and we're going to take all night to get this thing done. In fact, if it had been last night, this game wouldn't have been able to be played. Just too much lightning for too long. We would have had to wait until 5 in the morning to finish that ball game. But we've got Snow Canyon Centennial coming at you. This is the ideal home and paint game of the week right here on ESPN 97.7 FM. We're going to do a quick pregame show built by Bucks Ace Hardware, and then we'll be set to go. 2-minute timeout for the national anthem, and right back at you on ESPN 97.7.
Give your home a stunning, easy, modern update this summer with Ideal Home and Paint. Panel-up design wall panels at Ideal Home and Paint offer countless possibilities to creatively design your interior with natural accents. Whether you prefer a modern, luxurious interior or a modern style, our wall panels can be adapted to any decor. Beautify your home this summer with Ideal Home and Paint. 4096 South River Road in St. George. Your locally owned and operated home decor expert since 1975.
When you think of Bucks Ace Hardware, you probably think a great place to get tools and hardware, and you're right. But what you may not know is the second that you walk into Bucks Ace Hardware located at Dino Crossing, you see that it's so much more. Like a gun department that's sure to take your breath away, a garden center for all your outdoor needs, a great selection of board games and toys that can't be found anywhere else in southern Utah, and best of all, you're always greeted by a friendly face, because at Bucks Ace Hardware, you're treated like part of the family. So go and see them today.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
For everything you need to keep your sports gear safe and secure, go to St. George Topper, offering tonneau covers, bed liners, WeatherTech floor mats, custom seat covers, running boards, and more. St. George Topper on the Boulevard. Don't go topless.
Tonight's action is brought to you in part by Fabulous Freddy's.
Welcome back to Warriors Stadium. Carrick Segmiller, Big Game, James Guerin with you. Your local sports leader, ESPN 97.7 FM. Snow Canyon hosting the Bulldogs from Centennial, Nevada. And like you were saying, James, not a team we see very often. It's 2 weeks in a row, though. Snow Canyon will host a team from Nevada with a decisive 35-15 victory over Green Valley out of Henderson, Nevada. Last week, they'll try to make it 2 in a row, try to improve to 3-1 on the season. The rest of the region, they're duking it out. Region play is underway. This is Snow Canyon's region bye. They decide to play a game on the region bye week. This is the Bucks Ace Hardware pregame show. Stop by Bucks Ace today for power, tools, grills, and the best gun department. Bucks locations at Dino Crossing, St. George, Santa Clara, and Hurricane. We got to do a couple of these things real quick before we jump into game time, James. Let's start with our Intermountain Sports Performance Star Watch. Why don't you pick somebody from Snow Canyon? Who you looking at when you think, hey, this player embodies all that the Warriors bring to the table?
I think it all starts with the quarterback, Carrick. And I think Talon Kelly is the guy that you really have to get behind if you want to come away with the victory in this one. He's looked good over the first couple of weeks of the season. Now you're in week 3, about to get into the heart of your entire schedule. Now is the time that you should be finally comfortable in your own system, and now you can really start working on, quote unquote, the flashy stuff, if you want to say that. So Talon Kelly is the guy to watch tonight.
very well spoken. He's kind of the heart and soul of this team. And I know Andy and Rustin touched on this play a lot during the Andy Thompson show this week. It was featured on the Region Rush, a couple other film studies that Andy did on Twitter. Speaking of, on Twitter, ESPN 97.7, at ESPN 977. Head over there. There is a live link to listen on YouTube, or to watch on YouTube. So we are streaming it. It's raining. It's inclement weather, but we've still got the stream set up, and that's where you'll find it. Or it's on the YouTube. You can search the community education channel, and you'll find it. It's live, and you can watch right there and hear us as well. But Tank Kelly last week showed he was the heart and soul of this team, as there was a 4th and 11. The ball was down about the 20-yard line, and Coach Esplin tried to send the field goal unit out. In fact, the kicker had 2 or 3 steps onto the field, and Tank looked over and he said, we are going. He signaled toward the end zone and said, we are going for it. And lo and behold, he shakes a couple of defenders, finds a receiver wide open in the end zone. That is the heart and soul of your Warriors team. And that's exactly what you want to see. Now, would it be a different story maybe if they didn't get the first down, maybe if they didn't score, but we don't have to think about that because they did. So for your Snow Canyon Star Watch, brought to you by Intermountain Sports Performance, definitely is Tank Kelly tonight, the heart and soul of this Snow Canyon Warriors offense. On the other side of the field, the Centennial Bulldogs come to town. 2-0 on the season are the Bulldogs, averaging 33.5 points per game, giving up 20 points per game. Now, according to Max Preps, they went 0-9 last year. I'm trying to confirm whether that really is true, but what a turnaround so far already if that is true. But I think you have to look at the quarterback position for the Centennial team as well for your Intermountain Sports Performance Star Watch, and it's Vic Plotnikov for the Bulldogs tonight, James. 33 of 44 through the 2 games, 506 yards, 8 touchdowns, just a couple of interceptions, and he is the heart and soul of his team. He's big, he's mobile, a dual threat guy, he's lefty, he can throw on the run, I saw him on Huddle making some plays where it looked like it was a read option, and then boom, he pitched it out, or just a throw to the side. Very athletic player. It starts at the quarterback position. I know that's pretty cliche, right, for both sides, but the quarterback, watch the quarterback play tonight for both teams. And
you look at the Bulldogs roster, there's not one guy that really stands out. It's a nice set of guys. There's 2 or 3 guys that are led in the senior class. 3 of them have at least 2 touchdowns on the season so far. So it's not just one guy, and that could be a problem for the Warriors if the Bulldogs can get it going early, is if they are able to spread the ball out to multiple receivers and really spread this defense out. Because over the last 2 weeks, like you've mentioned, Centennial has averaged over 30 points a game, and that's great on any level that you're playing on. So for tonight, it's going to be, can you stop the big play if you're the Snow Canyon defense? Don't let Centennial get in their momentum.
Yeah, great. And Snow Canyon set the tone defensively last week before the explosive offensive output on the offensive end to put up 35 points in that win last week. They'll try to do it again. This is the Bucks Ace Hardware pregame show. We're just about done. In fact, we are going to wrap it up, and we'll keep it right here and get ready for kickoff. Snow Canyon is going to receive. They'll be moving right to left across your radio dial as we see it, you hear it, and moving south to north for the directions here. Snow Canyon wearing the home navy blue jerseys. Of course, the gold helmets, white pants. On the other side, kind of that Carolina blue helmet for the Centennial Bulldogs. White jersey, white pants, more of a navy blue number for the Bulldogs. Let's play football. The ball is teed up, kicked away, and the Warriors will receive, taking about the 10-yard line near side. Angling to the right side are the Warriors. The return man is free across the 30, 45, 50, brought down right at the 50, and that's William West on the return. Going to set the Warriors up with perfect field position.
And just what you need, right, to start a game, get your offense going. Get a big return. You're already set up at midfield. It makes it that much easier for your offense now.
The Warriors will have the ball first. Let's give you some Tink Superior Auto Parts keys to the game, James. I think you mentioned it just before. Snow Canyon obviously wants to have a good game offensively, but you got to set the tone defensively if you're the Warriors tonight.
You do, but right now on offense, work your game. You're still early on in the game. There's no need to try anything cute here. Just play your offense and let the game write itself out.
Warriors, a very pass-heavy team. About 20, 25 more pass attempts than rush attempts, but they're going to go to the ground on first down. It's Reynolds making his way around the right side, breaking a tackle, and he's knocked out of bounds just 1 yard past the marker. First down for the Warriors across the 50 into Centennial territory at the 40-yard line.
And just what you need to get in rhythm. That first Fabulous Freddy's first down on that very first play. Get the chains moving. Keep pounding the rock here if you're Snow Canyon.
And I was going to say get Max Reynolds involved in this game early as part of our Tink Superior Auto Parts keys to the game. And an 11-yard run on first down will do just that. He's going to motion out to the left. Tank Kelly kind of fakes like he's going to throw it to him. Instead, he'll keep it off the right side for a pickup of 2 yards. Second down and 8 coming from the 38.
It looked like it was another zone read option that time, except the line just collapsed and the Bulldogs were able to capitalize that time for a short minimum gain.
For the viewing audience tonight, because of the rain and possible inclement weather, we are shooting from indoors, so we got to go through a pane of glass. Not able to zoom quite as much as normal. We can put a little bit on there, but want to make sure you can see the action still. Second down and 8 upcoming. Motion from right to left for the Warriors. Tank Kelly, pump fake, looking across the middle. Fires just over the head of the intended receiver, and he was there for the Warriors, but that pass just a little bit too high, and it was Cale Johnson not able to reach quite high enough to bring it in.
And that was good pressure that time from Kamara for the Bulldogs that time. He got through the line, and he made Kelly throw it a little bit earlier than he wanted to and caused that missed timing of the route.
Third down and 8, ball at the 30. Well, we'll call it third down and 9, actually. Ball at the 39-yard line. And you better believe they went for it on fourth down last week. They don't get it here, they'll go again. Here's Max Reynolds off the right side. Ball comes loose late, but he was already down. He'll pick up, call it 3 yards, and it will be fourth down and 6. Down to the 36-yard line. Of course, the Warriors going to keep the offense on the field.
Now you think they go with the play action here and try and get that linebacking core to bite, and then there's a lot of space right there in the open of the field.
It'll be trips to the near side. Samaje Thompson, the far receiver to the left. Here's Kelly, and he evades one sack, still on his feet, will fire downfield. Has Thompson, first down to the 20, inside the 20, across the 15, hurdles the defender, still on his feet, flag flies as he crosses the 10 and brought down at the 8-yard line. There is a flag. It will be a first down for the Warriors. We talked about Tank Kelly. It looked like he was going down in the backfield. Gets away from the sack and completes the pass for first down.
Kind of reminded you of Manziel escaping from all those defenders a couple years ago. Tank Kelly had a defender right on top of him, basically, and he shook him off, rolled out left, and found a wide open receiver downfield.
Thompson with the catch, and man, his job wasn't done after the catch. He picked up, we'll call it 10 yards after the catch, but he had to work for every inch. It looks like it's coming back a little bit. Legal use of the hands after the catch. So the first down will stand. They'll mark it back.
5 yards from where it happened.
Across the 20, back to the 23-yard line. Most importantly for the Warriors, though, the catch stands. It is a first down, knocking on the door of the Hickman Lending Team red zone. 9:50 to play in the opening quarter. Still no score. Opening drive for the Warriors. If you're just joining us, we appreciate you tuning in to our Ideal Home and Auto Paint Game of the Week. Here's Max Reynolds right up the middle, bumps it outside. He's got room across the 10, a foot race, 5, touchdown! Snow Canyon on the 23-yard touchdown run from Max Reynolds.
And that was just too easy that time for Reynolds as he faked it like he was going inside, waited for the cornerback to bite in, and then at the last second jumped back outside and beat him to the edge, to the pylon. Great effort there that time.
We talked in our keys to the game, brought to you by Tink Superior Auto Parts, the need to get Max Reynolds involved early and often. He had 3 or 4 carries on that play, including the 23-yard touchdown scamper. Snow Canyon leads at 6-0, 9:35 to play. PAT pending. And we'll be on the way shortly. And it is up and through. Amin Allred makes it 7-0. Warriors lead it, 9:35 to play, first quarter. We'll take a 60-second timeout. Come right back on ESPN 97.7.
Feeling pain from a car accident? Go to Dixie Chiropractic, your trusted Clinic. No worries. You don't pay if it wasn't your fault. Their experts ensure a hassle-free recovery. Visit them today for laser therapy, spinal decompression, ozone, PRP, Calmar therapy, and more. Your path to recovery starts at DixieChiro.com.
DixieChiro.com. DixieChiro.com.
Tonight's action is brought to you in part by Fabulous Freddy's.
Snow Canyon leads at 7-0 on your home for local sports. ESPN 97.7 FM. Carrick Segment with James Guerin with you. Again, Andy Thompson, Rustin Burnside have the night off. We're happy to step up in their absence. Snow Canyon, James, looked efficient. Had to convert on 4th down once, but still looked good offensively in a 23-yard touchdown run to cap it off for Max Reynolds.
Now is the time for your defense to follow that offensive momentum. Your offense did its job. Now your defense has to go out there and do the same exact thing and really get this train going.
Hammond Allred, the ensuing kickoff into the end zone. There will be no return. You cannot overstate how important that is in a high school football game. If your kicker can kick it into the end zone every kickoff, you're eliminating that big play potential on the other side.
I'll tell you what, Carrick, I was a kicker back in my high school days.
Were you really?
It was very difficult to kick it into the end zone for a touchback. And it is a weapon, 100%. People say kickers aren't really people. They absolutely are, because it can stop big returns. Snow Canyon just capitalized on one, brought it back to the 50. Now for the Bulldogs, you got to start on your own 20. So it is a big, big factor.
Vic Platnikov will lead the Bulldogs out onto the field. Their main running back is Ty Hanley. Leads the team in rushing. He's also the team's leader in tackles. On 1st down, instead of going to the ground, they'll fire to the right side. Pass is complete across the 25 to the 26-yard line. A pickup of 6 yards. 2nd down and 4 upcoming.
And if we can take anything away from the stat line that we've seen from the Bulldogs, we should be expecting a lot of these short tempo screen passes just to get the offense going early.
Yeah, very, very heavy passing team are the Bulldogs. Last year they were about 65-35 on the ratio of pass to run. It's right up around there this year as well. Platnikov on 2nd down gives right up the middle to Ty Hanley. And he is met at the line and driven back. No gain. 3rd down and 4 upcoming.
Yeah, it was a designed read option that time, but gave it to the back instead and got swallowed up in the backfield.
And you have to keep your eye on Platnikov on those read options, as he will keep it. He's big. He's got speed. He's hard to bring down. First big play defensively for the Warriors is 3rd down and 4 at the 26-yard line of Snow Canyon for Centennial. Shotgun snap to Platnikov, fakes the throw, pulls it down and runs, and he's stopped right at the marker, or maybe half a yard shy. It looks like he's going to be short. It's going to be 4th and inches upcoming for the Bulldogs. A decision time already.
And it looks like they're going to stay out there. Special teams unit not coming onto the field. They're going to go.
Ty Hanley, 5'9", 184. Vic Platnikov, 5'11", 195. You've got size. You've got strength. You only got to pick up, I don't even know, it's half a yard, James. It's a few inches.
Might be the nose.
They are in the shotgun, though. Pistol formation. Hanley behind Platnikov. High snap, give it to Hanley. He's hit and driven back. He's not going to get it. Huge stop for the Warriors defensively. And the Bulldogs will turn it over on downs. Tag Gubler first on the scene for the Warriors, along with Ryder Holt. What a stop. You want to talk about an early leading candidate for a playmaker play of the game, brought to you by Appliance Wholesalers Plus. That's it. Uh-oh, here we go, James. The Snow Canyon student section is going to start jumping. Hold on for dear life. It is a common thing. It's like an earthquake in the press box when it happens. Secure your equipment. Here we go. After the huge stop for the Warriors, 7:38 to play first quarter. Perfect field position for Snow Canyon at the 29-yard line. Kelly, shotgun snap, pump fake, fires across the middle, has Cale Johnson. But just like his first attempt to Johnson, little too much juice on it. Too high out of his fingertips.
And the safety that time for the Bulldogs looks like it was Gavin DeFeo, the one who made the pass breakup. He didn't bite on the pump fake that time. He stayed home and was able to make a play on that one.
2nd down and 10 for the Warriors. I'll tell you what, this could turn out to be a beautiful night. We've got football weather in St. George finally. You're not sending your guys out to play in 100-degree weather. Potential maybe for some rain still. You got to think these guys are real excited to be on the field tonight. 7:31 to go, first quarter. Snow Canyon 7-0 lead. Shotgun snap to Kelly. He'll fire to the right side. Catch is made by J.T. Westbrook. And he'll shake and bake 5 yards after the catch. They're going to move the sticks. First down for the Warriors. Ball at the 20-yard line. Move those chains, says the referee. And it's a Fabulous Freddy's first down for Snow Canyon.
And the tempo. Keep the pedal to the metal here early. You got the early stop. Now you really want them to be on their heels here. I love the pace here.
8th catch of the year for Westbrook. He's over 220 yards receiving now on the year. He's got 3 touchdowns to lead the Warriors. A fumble on a handoff, but Reynolds picks it back up. He's across the 15 to the 10 to the 5. Touchdown. Are you kidding me, James? He drops the football in the exchange and picks it up and goes for 6.
And all credit right there should go to Blake Stuckey. He was the one who made the block on the bottom side of the screen or of the play there, and he was the reason that hole was so wide open, and he snuck into the end zone there. Beautiful play.
Ammon Allred going to come on for the PAT. Kicks point after is brought to you by St. George Topper. We've got a new leading candidate for Appliance Wholesalers Plus Playmaker Play of the Game. Max Reynolds, 2 touchdowns on the night, and none better than that one. Allred splits the uprights, and with 6:52 to go, Snow Canyon 14, Centennial nothing. 60-second timeout and back.
Fabulous Freddy's has increased their speed for full-service washes. In a hurry? Get your vehicle vacuumed, the windows wiped down, and tires washed all in under 20 minutes. You want fabulous, fast, friendly service? Go to Fabulous Freddy's. And Fabulous Freddy's is still wiping every car and still giving 10 cents off a gallon.
Let's wash our cars at Fabulous Freddy's.
Tonight's action is brought to you in part by Intermountain Sports Medicine.
Big shout out to Intermountain Sports Medicine and all of our great sponsors on tonight's game. Play-by-play brought to you by Intermountain, providing athletic training for all of Region 9 varsity athletics again this year. Sports injury, call Dr. Millward today, 251-3600. I just can't get over the fact that Snow Canyon converts on a 4th down. They score on that drive. You have a broken play, a bad exchange between Tank Kelly and Max Reynolds. Ball goes to the turf, and Reynolds has a wherewithal to not just pick it up, but he's scanning the horizon to see where he needs to go, and he scores from 20 yards out on the play.
I mean, thankfully the ball for him was able to bounce right back up to him. Otherwise, that's not possible. Ensuing
kickoff again into the end zone. Man, it just barely gets across the line, but that's all you have to do. Of course, you mentioned you're a kicker, James, and I mean, as the kicker, how much of a relief? When you hit the ball to the end zone, you're just like, whew, did my job.
Yep, it's the easiest thing that you can do as a kicker is make sure you just kick it as hard as you can and get it into the end zone, because other than that, you either got that or you got the PATs or the field goals. So really your jobs are kind of limited. So any time that you execute perfectly on it, you get a lot of credit for it and a lot of pats on the back.
The only time the spotlight is on the kicker is when you
Kickers
do something real good or real bad. There's no in between.
Yeah, they're only the bad guy when they miss, right?
14-0 Warriors lead it. 6:52 to go first quarter. They'll sling it out to the left side, and a huge collision after the catch is made by the Bulldogs. You get the number on that tackle, James. I believe that was Silbernagel on the catch, 45 for the Bulldogs. But a huge hit on the far side of the field for the Warriors. It'll be 2nd down and 8 upcoming for the Bulldogs after just the 2-yard pickup, and now a flag flies. Did we have motion on the line? We did. Kind of an extended barking out the signals. And someone on that left side got a little bit antsy and jumped. So take away the 2 yards gain on 1st down, and now it's 2nd down and about 13. They're on 2nd. Platnikov, a little screen pass. It's going to fall to the turf, but there's 3 blue jerseys looming, applying pressure, and Platnikov had to just get rid of it.
And none other than Tegan Whitehead, right? He had a monster game a week ago, and there he is again making stops in the backfield, preventing any sort of forward progress.
James, you brought your iPad tonight. I've got like 47 pieces of paper with notes on it. I got to get with the times. 3rd down and 13. Pass across the middle. A good look for the Bulldogs, but diving for the catch was Mason Garza, not able to make the catch, and it will be a punt for the Bulldogs.
And that one looked like it was right in the bread basket. But Carrick, as we know, a little bit wet tonight out there on the field. Maybe it slipped right out of his hands, but nonetheless, you got to come up with that catch.
The Bulldogs will punt it away, 6:26 to go first quarter. Snow Canyon leading 14-0. Warriors have a deep back just across the 50 and then one a little further at about the 40. Punt is away, almost got a finger on it, and it is fielded in the Bulldog territory at the 45. He's across the 30 to the 20, breaks a tackle, steps out of bounds at about the 10-yard line, and J.T. Westbrook about had this place going nuts.
Is he the same guy returning kicks as well?
I think that first kickoff return was William West earlier in the game.
Either way, this special teams coaching, give them a round of applause. They have looked lights out so far here in the first quarter. Long kick return, and then you get another long punt return right there. Good blocking up front for the Warriors, as now they're in the red zone already.
3rd drive of the game for Snow Canyon. 2nd drive in a row they're starting in plus territory. And this one, you're already in the red zone. Like you mentioned, brought to you by the Hickman Lending Team. Kelly going to keep it on 1st down. He's across the 10, fighting for the 5-yard line. He stood up. Where will they mark him? He got to the 7 and no further, but he will pick up about 6 yards on the play. Warriors do have a 1st down available across the 3-yard line. And take Kelly. He knows he's got Max Reynolds. He knows he's got all the receivers. But they're going to call Tank's number quite often as well. Big, strong kid, can sling it, but boy, can he run it and can he break tackles along the way. Clock rolling, 5:35 to go. Early first quarter. Man in motion. Kelly going to keep it again. He'll try to go right up the gut. Spins off of the knee of a defender. Didn't hit the ground until now. They moved it back a little bit after the last run. They needed 5 for the 1st down, picked up 4. It'll be 3rd down and 1 just across the 5-yard line of Centennial.
Now we've seen on back-to-back drives, Thompson get the ball down low, closer to the goal line, and punch it in. Do they see him going back to him for a 3rd time?
Tank Kelly, 2 rushing touchdowns on the year so far. Max Reynolds has doubled his rushing touchdown number from 2 to 4. I don't see him out there right now. Instead, it's Kelly going to keep it again. Now he'll option out to the right side. A cutback and a touchdown for the Warriors. Conrad Green. What a play by Snow Canyon. You had a lot going on there. You had one back lined up. It was Bryce Barnes was in the backfield with Tank Kelly. They faked a handoff to him. Kelly kept it. It looked like he was going to be stopped and then pitched it out to the right side, and Green scampered into the end zone from 5 yards out.
Yep, Kelly, perfect execution. Was about to be taken down for a sack, Carrick, and then found the bailout the last second for 6.
The PAT from Allred is up and through. Familiar story. Snow Canyon finds the end zone once more. 21-0. Warriors lead it. 4:37 to play. First quarter. Take the timeout. Come right back.
There's no better time to bring the timeless quality and dependability of GE appliances to your home than right now with your local appliance experts at Appliance Wholesalers Plus. Save on premium finish options that you won't find anywhere else, and features that help you spend less time doing chores and more time doing what matters to you. Now's your chance to save big on select GE appliances. Visit your local appliance experts at Appliance Wholesalers Plus or shop online at ApplianceWholesalersPlus.com.
Welcome back to the game. Brought to you in part by Buck's Ace Hardware.
Snow Canyon finds the end zone again. Carrick Sagmiller, James Guerin with you at Warrior Stadium. We talked about the pass for Snow Canyon coming in, but it's been all ground game. 3 rushing touchdowns for the Warriors on 3 drives, and they lead at 21-0, and Ammon Allred sneaks it into the end zone for a touchback. The ball landed at the 10-yard line and was angling toward the near sideline, and the Bulldog return man thought for sure it was going out of bounds. That was Zen Coleman. It took a Snow Canyon bounce, and when it turned on a dime and bounced across the goal line for a touchback.
Man, that is just a kicker's dream right there, to just have the ball go exactly as you want it, because if that ball goes off to the left by just an inch, that ball's now set up at the 35-yard line. Easy field position for the Bulldogs, but instead, a long field ahead, 80 yards to go.
Appreciate you making us part of your night, whether you're listening on ESPN 97.7 or the audio stream on sportsradio977.com, or if you're joining us on the YouTube, the Community Education Channel YouTube. Appreciate you tuning in. Make us part of your night. 21-0 Warriors. There's Plotnikov. He's going to have a read option. No, he gave it to the running back, and that's Hanley right up the gut, and he'll gain 2 yards, and second down and 8 upcoming.
Yeah, Diesel Smith in the middle of that, stopping the runner from making any progress, dug his cleats into the turf and said, nope, you're not getting past me, for a short minimum gain.
We will have some Region 9 updates brought to you by Hersey's Hardware throughout the night. It's week 1 of the Region 9 season, so we'll be sure to keep you updated on those games. Plotnikov claps the hands. The lefty fires deep downfield, has his man, and incomplete. Zen Coleman had created separation, and if he catches that ball, he is long gone to the end zone for about an 80-yard score, but just a little too much juice on it from the lefty.
And sometimes that's just default by you being so excited that there's a man that open downfield. Just missed him barely. And now you got to reset, forget it, on to the next play here.
.354 to go, first quarter. Clock is stopped. 21-0 Snow Canyon lead. It'll be 3rd down and 7. Plotnikov forced out to his left is going to fire a bullet, pass complete across the middle at the 35 to the 40, the 45 and the 50, and a huge collision into Snow Canyon territory. Ball will be down at the 48-yard line, and you're going to get a flag after the play. I believe that was Angelo Ahern on the catch, and when he crushed the Snow Canyon defender, James, he popped right back up and whoop, spun the ball on its end, and that's going to get a flag for unsportsmanlike.
And finally for the Bulldogs, have they got something, a big chunk play like that, and they were ready, Carrick. They were ready to get back on the ball and get another play going, but instead they got to pedal back a little bit, about another 10, 15 yards it looks like.
And Ahern is a stud for this Bulldogs offense. That is his 8th catch of the season for over 200 yards now. Led the team last year with 40 catches, 603 yards and 3 scores. That was a great-looking throw from Plotnikov as well. He finally had some time, sprint out to the left, was able to make a throw. Instead, it's 1st down and 10 from back in their own territory. He's going to keep this one, stiff arms the defender. He's around the left end, across the 45, diving for the marker at the 47, and he's going to get right there, maybe a pickup of 9 for 2nd down and 1 upcoming.
And a nice 9-yard scramble Really didn't see much out there, but saw the open lane and took it.
Bulldogs hurry back to the line. 2 receivers to either side. They'll give it to Hanley right up the middle, and he picks up the 1 yard necessary to move the sticks. Brought to you by Fabulous Freddy's. Chains will move, and the clock will stop momentarily for them to move. 2:52 to go in the first quarter. But a first down for the Bulldogs. Second first down they've picked up on this drive, James. And they've got something brewing offensively here.
Yep, third drive of the game. Finally, maybe they've calmed down a little bit and finally have gotten used to things around Snow Canyon. But
off tackle to the left, it's Hanley, and he's free and delivers a punishing blow right at the 10-yard mark for the first down across the 45 to the 44-yard line. And the Bulldogs, another first down, this time into Warrior territory.
Yep, 5'9", 184, but he's not letting that stop them from getting that tough first down.
Here's Plotnikov, same play. He'll bounce it a little further out to the left this time, and Hanley is tackled left side at the numbers, right at the 40-yard line. He'll pick up, call it 3-4 yards on the play. Second down and 6 upcoming. You can kind of feel the momentum swing here. You can feel the confidence growing. Hanley's going to get a breather after that one. Instead, it's Colton Silbernagel into the game.
And other than that chunk play on the first play of this of the drive, it's been little dinks, little runs, really keeping your quarterback in check.
There's a jet sweep around the right side, but he can't get to the side. Instead, he's going to lose 4 yards on the play. Angelo Ahern. A lot going on there. They faked the give to Silbernagel, and then coming off the left edge was Ahern, and the little toss forward, which is misscored a lot. It's misstatted a lot. That is actually a pass. It goes forward, and that's a completion for Plotnikov, but a lot of stat keepers will put that in as a rush attempt. 1:13 to go, first quarter. Here's Plotnikov on third down and 13. Fires across the middle, tipped and incomplete. The ball bounced into the air, and the intended receiver, Jockey Dennis, had an opportunity to come down with it, but the Warrior defender, because the ball had been tipped, was able to hit Dennis and bring him down before he could make the catch.
And after a couple of first downs on this drive, Carrick, you'd think that they would try and maybe go for this long conversion here, but instead they sent out the punt team to maybe try and pin the Warriors deep into their own zone.
So JT Westbrook is the returner back deep. The middleman is at number 17. Is that Trayvon? You can see a 7 for sure, but that 1 is hiding. Punt goes away, and it's going to go to Westbrook. And he's got room out to the right side across the 25, 30, 33-yard line and knocked out of bounds. Solid return for Westbrook, and Snow Canyon will still start on the Bulldog side of the 30-yard line.
I know it wasn't flashy, Carrick, but anytime you get 5, 7, 9 yards on a punt return like that, that's a win in your book, right? Anything beats going backwards. So even though it doesn't look like it was a lot, you'll take it every time.
And he's looked great on the return game as well. He's got a catch to his name as well. 54 seconds to play in the first quarter. We'll see how quick Snow Canyon goes, or if they're content to run a play here and then let the first quarter clock expire. High snap. Kelly brings it down. Will swing it to the left side. Pass is complete, and his man is free to the 40, 45, and the 50-yard line. And Conrad Green with the catch into Bulldog territory. Check that. They got him at the 49-yard line. Not quite to Bulldog territory. And we've got a Bulldog player that is down in kind of in the linebacker area. He was up and walking and then just went right back down. And we hope he's okay. That's one thing about this game that we love. Meaning the game that we love is it's a physical game. And unfortunately, injuries are part of it, but you never like to see it. We'll have trainers from both teams out there to check on the injured Bulldog. Let's step away. We'll take a 60-second timeout. Come right back to Warrior Stadium.
It's Tyler with We Win Injury Law. People usually call us when they're involved in a vehicle accident, but there are so many other areas we specialize in. Long story short, if you've been injured, we can help. Maybe you've experienced medical malpractice, or a loved one has suffered nursing home abuse, or even a wrongful death. If so, call us today. You need an experienced injury lawyer who knows how to fight insurance companies. Unlike most lawyers, we are not scared to go to trial to fight for what you deserve. Call us today at 435-688-9558 for your free consultation, or visit us at WeWinInjuryLaw.com.
Tonight's action is brought to you in part by Appliance Wholesalers Plus.
And we are back here at Snow Canyon Field. Scores from around Region 9, and we got Desert Hills taking on Pineview. Desert Hills currently out front 14-7 with 11 minutes to go in the second quarter. Crimson Cliffs up 28-0 over the Reds of Cedar City.
First down for the Warriors. It's Reynolds. Started up the middle, went out right, then cut it back up the middle again. And after all of that zigging and zagging, he'll pick up 6 yards to the 45-yard line of Centennial.
In the last game, Carrick, that's going on here in Region 9, Dixie over Hurricane 13-0. That one is late in the first quarter as well.
And that will end the first quarter of play here at Snow Canyon. Warriors 21, Bulldogs nothing. Warriors driving, trying to add to that tally. But first, we got to take another timeout, pay some bills. We'll be right back to Warrior Stadium on ESPN 97.7.
If you haven't stopped by Wilkinson's House of Lighting lately, you're in for a brilliant surprise. Introducing the Wilkinson's Lamp Room. Come and shop an entire room dedicated to lamps. From simple to exquisite, you'll find just what you need to light up your home or office in any category. Wilkinson's House of Lighting, winner of Best of Southern Utah 4 years running. Come in and see our all-new lamp room just off Main Street, or find us online at shopwilkinsons.com.
Welcome back to the action, brought to you in part by Ideal Home and Paint.
Welcome back to Warriors Stadium. Snow Canyon leads it 21-0. Appreciate you making this part of your night. First play of the second quarter upcoming. Teams flip sides. Warriors now moving left to right across your radio dial. Moving north to south here in the end zone. Lights are on. Things are getting a little darker at Warrior Stadium. And we've got movement before the play. Who moved first? That's the question. Was it an offensive lineman? And if it was he induced? No, he wasn't. False start will move the Warriors back across the 50-yard line. And that's where Snow Canyon will start this next play. Right to the 50. Second down and 9 upcoming for the Warriors. Empty backfield for Tank Kelly. Now he's got a man motioning from right to left. He'll swing it to him. Catches no. Dropped.
That's a live ball. That's a live ball.
It was a backwards. Carrick. It is. It was a backwards pass. And it was Archie Threlfall making the catch off the turf. It hit his hands, bounced to the turf, and back in his hands. You saw everybody stop, but there were no whistles.
Yeah, I saw that as it happened. We had the perfect angle right there. It did go backwards, so you got to play to the whistle.
Went backwards about half a yard, and that's why everyone just kind of stopped and stood there, and so did the officials. They said, all right, we can let this clock run out as much as we want to. So a pickup of 4, kind of unorthodox way to pick up some yards, but third down and 6 upcoming for the Warriors. Flags fly as the play begins, and likely to have movement up front once more. Indeed it is.
You think maybe that's just from you just wanting to jump off and explode so fast that you're just excited, you want to hit the guy, you just, a little bit too early. It's tough as a player if you're that fired up and you're ready to explode. And then all it takes is that little twitch.
$10:55 to go here in the second quarter. Third down and 11. Kelly It's going to be picked off at the 45-yard line. A tackle made at the 50 across Snow Canyon territory to the 49-yard line. But Tank Kelly will throw his second interception of the season.
Sayoni Inoki on the coverage that time and the interception. And Kelly that time, he just didn't put enough on it. It looked like he was trying to aim it more so than trying to lead the receiver there. And Inoki jumped the route perfectly and was thrown right to him. Good hands for the linebacker, though.
Inoki, one of the leaders of this Bulldog defense, just a junior, but as a sophomore, he led the team in tackles last year with over 50 tackles. But we had a personal foul after the play. And that's going to move it back into Snow Canyon, or back into Bulldog territory, across the 40 down to the 36-yard line. We've had a couple big plays for the Bulldogs tonight, James, negated by the personal foul.
Yeah, and that's going to hurt you every single time. That's just called being committed to your game plan and not doing anything after the whistle. That's unorthodox.
On the first down, it's a give to Hanley. Off tackle to the right. He'll pick up 2 yards. It'll be 2nd and 8.
When you look at this Bulldogs offensive line, Carrick, and they look like they have a lot of size, but the Warriors defensive line, time and time again, finds themselves in the backfield earlier than not.
On 2nd down, pass to the near side is caught as Ahern has to go to his knees to make the catch, and he'll pick up 5 yards. It takes him just across the 45-yard line. It'll be 3rd, and we'll call it 2. They don't have the distances up on the scoreboard tonight. I know they were having a few issues with the scoreboard. They had to go back to an older model of the scoreboard unit to run it, but at least we've got time and score and down. Live sports, man, you're on the fly. You're trying everything you can. I've been there, whether it's on the radio or the game ops side of it as well. High snap on 3rd down, give to Hanley. He's got the first down. They'll drive him back, but forward progress gets Hanley to the 49-yard line, and the chains move.
And a tough run, but that's good for another fabulous Freddy's first down. And now you're just shy of midfield. You just want to get some plays in the opposing territory at this point. I think that is going to be a moral victory for the Bulldogs. Is let's get a couple of plays in on their side of the field. Let's put the pressure on them.
9:02 to go. Plotnikov has plenty of time. Fires across the middle, and the pass is broken up. What a play by the Warriors. And that's Archie Threlfall. That pass was going to be caught for sure, and Threlfall flew out of his spot at the safety position to break it up.
And that's exactly what you want out of your safety, is jumping in front of those routes, sticking your big paw out there, and making sure the pass doesn't get completed. That's perfect execution that time.
2nd down and 10 for the Bulldogs. Trying to cross the 50-yard line here and keep the drive going. High snap to Plotnikov. Pulls it down. He's hit as he throws, but he's able to dump it out of the backfield to Hanley, and he'll pick up 3 yards before he's wrapped up and tossed backwards. So across the 50 to the Snow Canyon 49-yard line for the Bulldogs on the 3-yard pickup.
Do you think Snow Canyon might have done their scouting a little bit? Because I just mentioned the size of the Bulldogs' offensive line. Well, Snow Canyon, you look at their defensive line, it's not the biggest guys out there either, but they're quick and they're beating the big guys around the cuts and the edges, and that's why they're getting the backfield so much.
3rd down and 7. Plotnikov loads up and misses his man. He had his receiver, Dale Flores Jr., I don't know if I want to necessarily call it wide open, but he had him. If he would have let him out in front of him, he had a first down and more. We threw it behind him, incomplete.
Looks like another 4th down here, Carrick, and they're bringing the punting unit out. So looking for a corner, a coffin corner punt here inside the 10-yard line. I know it's a tough ask.
Snow Canyon defense has been real tough against the run this year, number 3 in Region 9 in rushing yards allowed per game. Side-to-side punt, and Westbrook going to let this thing bounce and roll across the 20 to the 17-yard line. It was end over end, but the ball was laying on its side. And Westbrook said, I don't want anything to do with that ball. I'm not going to risk a fumble.
Nothing wrong with a 35-yard punt. Nothing wrong with that.
Did you punt as well?
I did, but I wasn't as good at it. It's a completely different game. I'll tell you that.
Well,
it's like driving and putting. It's still golf, but it's completely different.
Longest field goal.
47 yards.
47.
That
you
is
have
a record.
The clip.
I think it might still be on YouTube
All right,
somewhere.
we're going to dial it up.
As far as I'm concerned,
film study
though,
with Andy Thompson, Big Game James.
It's still a record as far as I'm concerned.
That's a heck of a kick for a high school game.
It's from the 30. It was from the 37. I kicked it.
I've tried to kick field goals, but I can't make more than an extra point. 8:06 to go. Snow Canyon 1st and 10. And they will start from their own 17. Deep ball to Samaje Thompson. He had him. Overthrew him. Good coverage. Double coverage there for the Bulldogs. And that pass had to be right on the money. And, you don't mind that throw from Tank, though, because if you're going to miss, you miss it somewhere where only your guy can get to it, and don't throw the pick.
And we haven't really seen that a whole lot tonight, those deep, deep throws down on the sidelines of the field. It's been a lot of short plays and a lot of stuff inside the middle of the hash mark. So a little bit different on that last play to go deep there.
Second down, they go back to Reynolds, off tackle, left side, right at the left hash, and he's driven back, stood up, and he'll pick up 4 yards on the play. They let that play go for a long time before the whistles rang out. Finally do. He'll pick up 5, and it'll be 3rd down and 4 for Snow Canyon. We talked about the prolific Snow Canyon passing attack. And like you mentioned, James, that deep ball to Samaje Thompson, really the only time that Tank has really loaded up and gone deep downfield. Pressure coming 3rd down. He's able to escape 1 defender, 2 defenders, 3 defenders. No, he's going down. Tank Kelly, it takes an army to bring him down, but the cavalry arrive this time, and he'll lose 5 yards on the play.
I'm not going to lie, Carrick. I was expecting him to break that second tackle and him roll out and find someone deep downfield, because I believe he did do that last week against Green Canyon. But, man, 3 guys on the D-line, it's hard to keep going. He made 2 guys miss, and it was that 3rd guy that finally came in to clean it up. So good pursuit by the Bulldogs that time by not letting him get comfortable back there.
Well, we saw Tank Kelly do that in the Warriors' first drive of the game as well, on one of the plays that extended the drive. Broke a tackle, moved outside, completed the pass. Snow Canyon player on late in the punt formation. Now they've got 11 guys out there. Tank Kelly will stay out there. He punts as well.
Now that's a weapon.
The punt is away, and it's a booming punt. Heck of a punt, and it's going to take a Snow Canyon bounce, and it will go out of bounds across the 25 to the 23-yard line of Centennial. Wow.
Now getting the spiral on the punt, that's why I was never a punter. I could never do that. That allowed it to roll an extra 15, maybe 20 yards right there. So what a boomstick is what they like to call it.
Now do the math on that, because, he punted the ball from the goal line, but it's really measured from the line of scrimmage. And we've got the Snow Canyon student section earthquake once more. It's a little unsettling if you've not experienced it before. But when the cheerleaders lead the student section, they're jumping in unison from the right to the left, and you kind of feel like you're on a surfboard.
A little bit.
Huge punt from Tank Kelly. Ball is at the 23-yard line, and it's 1st down for the Bulldogs. Plotnikov going to load up, has a man, and it's broken up. It was a 50-50 ball. It could have gone to Ahern on the Bulldog side, and it could have gone
Maddox Smith
to Maddox Smith on the Warriors side, and it is tipped by both parties, and it falls to the turf.
I love it when a quarterback throws those high arcing balls, and it kind of time just stops for a little bit because it's up there for so long, and there's 2 guys that are both looking up at it. Either one of those guys could have made a play on it, but fortunately for the Bulldogs, it just fell to the turf.
Midway through the second quarter at Warriors Stadium, 6:10 to play. Warriors holding a 21-0 lead. He'll give it to Hanley. He's still going up the middle. We'll call it 3, maybe 4 yards on the play. It'll be third down, let's call it 6. Tegan Whitehead on the stop for the Warriors. There's this Snow Canyon team graduated 16 all-region players last year.
Wow.
7 first-teamers, 6 second-teamers, 3 honorable mentions. And look at him go still. High snap to Plotnikov. Give to Hanley. Up the middle again. Feeling his way forward. Only going to pick up 2 yards to the 30-yard line. Interesting play call on 3rd and 7 from your own 23-yard line.
I'm not sure if
here comes the punt unit once more.
I'm not sure if they were trying to exploit something that they might have saw in the Warriors defense that time, but whatever it was miscalculated, because that one only went for a couple of yards that time, and now you're forced to punt for, I believe, the 4th time tonight.
Yeah. Corbin Hafen is the middleman on this Snow Canyon punt return unit. JT Westbrook is the deep man. Warriors a little confusion trying to get the right personnel out there, so they're going to take a timeout. Timeouts are brought to you by Dixie Chiropractic. Take a timeout to Dixie Chiropractic with the most advanced technology and expertise in St. George, proud sponsor of Region 9 Athletics. Let's keep it right here for just a minute, James. We'll kind of talk through this. Centennial has settled into this game defensively. I think they've got their feet under them after, 3 straight touchdown drives by Snow Canyon. They got the drive up from Vegas. I'm sure they made the drive up today through the weather. Probably took a little bit longer on the bus than normal through the terrible rainstorms. They get up here. They're warming up. There was a lightning delay. We only started the game about 5 minutes late, but they were halfway through their warm-ups and they had to leave the field because of lightning. And so I think it took the first couple drives of the game before they felt like they were up to full speed out there. The offense is trying to catch up, but I think you're seeing the Centennial defense.
Yeah, the defense is finally into the swing of things. They're just on the field a lot just because the offense hasn't been able to maintain a long drive.
Punt nearly blocked, but it is away. And Centennial will fall on it at the 41-yard line of Snow Canyon. There was a host of Warriors around that play. You saw the Centennial players were trying to almost push the Snow Canyon players into the ball to no avail. The Warriors will have it. It's been a couple of drives since the Warriors found the end zone. Scoring recap for you, the Wilkinson stats. We'll talk more about this at halftime. Warriors scored on the first 3 drives of the football game. It was a Max Reynolds 23-yard touchdown run. It was a Max Reynolds 20-yard touchdown run after fumbling the exchange. And then on the next drive, Conrad Green sprinted to the right for a 5-yard touchdown run. You thought, boy, they might score in the 60s tonight. But Centennial has tightened up defensively, and the Warriors have now gone consecutive drives without points. Reynolds straight up the middle for 3 yards. 2nd down and 7 upcoming. I believe, 2 punts and the Tank Kelly interception for Snow Canyon, the last 3 drives before this one. And now 2nd down and 7 upcoming. Ball at the Snow Canyon 44-yard line. We remind you the InfoWest halftime report is coming up. We'll run you through some Region 9 updates, some Wilkinson stats from the first half. Here's Tank Kelly, going to keep it. Calls his own number on 2nd down, bouncing outside, and he gets the first down. Needed 7, he'll pick up 9, and the chains will move for Snow Canyon.
Yeah, the running game through up the middle has been kind of stagnant over the last half quarter or so, so Kelly finally just taking it on his own.
A little bit harder to track down the Wilkinson stats for you this year. That's why we give you scoring summaries and different information about the touchdowns. The teams were using a service called Digital Scout last year to provide. It was a live stat service. Here, finish that thought after this first down run from Reynolds, and he'll plow over the linebacker. And he picks up 9 yards on first down, straight up the middle. Hop on. It's the Max Reynolds show. The Max Reynolds train just plowing everybody.
And it seems like they're rotating running backs every other play to really keep this offense fresh. And that is going to be a problem come the second half if the Bulldogs are still giving up 7-8 yards a carry.
Finish my thought about stats here in just a minute, but the Warriors have hurried back to the line, and they're going to give to Conrad Green, end around from right to left, and it's sniffed out by the Bulldogs immediately. He'll lose a yard on the play. 3rd down and 3 upcoming.
Yeah,
go ahead.
They were playing man-to-man that time, and that's why all those guys were covered at the line of scrimmage and didn't really form a lane for them to go through that time. But short 3rd down here, we could see something of a read option here or something across the middle right above that linebacking core.
3rd down and 3 for the Warriors. Ball at the Centennial 39-yard line. They need the 35 for the first down. Tank Kelly going to be tripped up in the backfield. Call the zone number once more. Slipped past one white jersey, but then was tripped up by the second. Now you're kind of in that no man's land. Too deep for a field goal.
Yeah, just a little bit. This would be a 57-yarder.
Let it fly. Come on.
It's not if the wind from yesterday was still here and it was blowing towards the south side, then I'd say go for it.
Coach Espling going to take a timeout for Snow Canyon. We'll take it as well. Timeout's brought to you by Dixie Chiropractic. 21-0. Snow Canyon leads it. 2:22 to go. Decision time. Will they go or will they kick on 4th down? Quick 30-second timeout and back.
At Johnson Pediatrics, they know a child's early dental experience can have a lasting impact. So being able to provide a fun and positive environment that's kid-friendly is what they believe in at Johnson Pediatrics Dentistry. This allows them to build long-lasting relationships. Dr. Cody and his team at Johnson Pediatrics always make your kids feel right at home. Take advantage of the $79 new patient special that includes cleaning, exam, and x-rays. Call them today, 628-0511. Johnson Pediatrics, with 2 Southern Utah locations to serve you.
Tonight's action is brought to you in part by Fabulous Freddy's.
2:22 to go, second quarter, approaching a halftime break. Snow Canyon going to keep the offense on the field. Carrick Segmiller, James Guerin with you. At Snow Canyon High School, it'll be 4th and 5. Ball's at the 40. Snow Canyon needs the 35-yard line to keep this drive going. Empty backfield, 5 receivers for the Warriors. Kelly will lob downfield, has his man, and Westbrook makes the catch. Was he in bounds? What's the call? No, incomplete, out of bounds. I think it's the right call, but oh man, that was so close to being inside the 5-yard line on a dime from Tank Kelly.
Man, that was a back shoulder fade into the pylon of the end zone. And I don't know who made that call, if it was the back judge or if it was the sideline judge, but they must have saw him have both feet out of bounds. I thought he had one in. I don't know, Carrie. I thought he had one in. But they obviously have a better view than we do from up here. But that was a beautifully thrown ball.
And what a toss from Tank Kelly. It's ultimately going to end up no official completion.
And on 4th down,
Warriors
too,
will
so
turn it over on downs.
It's a killer.
It'll be 1st down. A pretty good field position for Centennial. Can they do something with it before halftime? 2:15 to go. I believe the Bulldogs have all 3 timeouts. And they'll start at their own 40-yard line. Give to Hanley, and he's met immediately. No gain. He gets back to the line, but no further. Talked about it earlier, but Snow Canyon, number 3 in the region coming into tonight's game in rushing yards allowed per game at 163 yards per game. Above them, Desert Hills at number 2, 85 yards per game on the ground. And actually Cedar at number 1 at 75 yards on the ground allowed per game. But the Warriors solid on the ground game defensively. Here's Plotnikov in the shotgun. Will fire across the middle. Pass complete across the 45 and 44 of Snow Canyon. And that's Dale Flores Jr.
And just a nice, simple 7-yard hitch, right? Get the cornerback to bite like you're going deep, come back at the last second. And he was able to convert that for another Fabulous Freddy's 1st down.
Clock rolling, 1:25 to go. Bulldogs going to go quick. From the Warriors 45, Plotnikov tiptoeing, fires to the near side, Pass is complete, and they'll move the sticks again. And that's Mason Garza on the reception. And now Centennial with 1:17 to go, 3 timeouts in the back pocket, knocking on the door of the Hickman Lending team red zone.
And this is what you want. If you're the Bulldogs here, you got time ticking, got over 70 seconds left until halftime. You want to make it somewhat respectable on the scoreboard right before you head into halftime.
1:17 to go. Here's Platnikov on first down. Escapes a potential sack and just tosses it to the right side. Catch is made by Ahern, and he'll pick up 9 yards on the play. I've seen him do this on some of their huddle film before, where he just will flip it out of there. And what an athletic play by Platnikov to keep it going. And now Centennial going to take its first timeout of the half. 54 ticks remaining, but the Bulldogs are driving down to the 12-yard line. We'll take a timeout, 60 seconds, and right back.
Give your home a stunning, easy, modern update this summer with Ideal Home and Paint. Panel-up design wall panels at Ideal Home and Paint offer countless possibilities to creatively design your interior with natural accents. Whether you prefer a modern, luxurious interior or a modern style, our wall panels can be adapted to any decor. Beautify your home this summer with Ideal Home and Paint. 4096 South River Road in St. George. Your locally owned and operated home decor expert since 1975.
Tonight's action is brought to you in part by Appliance Wholesalers Plus.
They've added a few seconds to the clock during the timeout. 58 seconds even remaining in the second quarter. Snow Canyon leading 21-0. But right now, James, Centennial driving. 2nd down and 2 from the Snow Canyon 12-yard line. Closest the Bulldogs have been to a score, any sort of points, all night long. It'll be shotgun formation. It's the pistol with Hanley standing directly behind Platnikov. No run here. Instead, Platnikov inside across the middle, and the catch is complete to his receiver, Del Flores Jr., and he's tackled across the 5 to the 4-yard line.
And that's what you want. You're playing a zone defense, and you got to find the guys on those nice quick slants. That's exactly what he did. And now, Carrick, you're only 4 yards away from getting your first points of the game.
And they're going to take another timeout to set it up. Why not? You got the timeouts, use them. A very important drive for Centennial right now to try to find some points. We'll take another timeout, this time just a 30-second timeout. Come right back.
Bucks Ace Hardware, you probably think a great place to get tools and hardware, and you're right. But what you may not know is the second that you walk into Bucks Ace Hardware located at Dino Crossing, you see that it's so much more. Like a gun department that's sure to take your breath away, a garden center for all your outdoor needs, a great selection of board games and toys that can't be found anywhere else in southern Utah, and best of all, you're always greeted by a friendly face, because at Bucks Ace Hardware, you're treated like part of the family. So go and see them today.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Welcome back to the action, brought to you in part by Ideal Home and Paint.
51 seconds remaining. 1st down and goal for the Bulldogs from the 5-yard line. Can Centennial find some points for the first time tonight? Pistol formation again. Platnikov, high snap, brings it down. Pump fake, is chased out of the pocket and spins out of a tackle. He's hit at the 2-yard line and he'll be stopped. A mouth guard flew out of there on the initial impact, and he'll be stopped at the 2-yard line. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 2. But first, Centennial going to spend its final timeout. They're saying this is the all-in, James. The chips are all in here. We have to score on this drive. We have these 3 timeouts. We want to get the play calls right. We're going to keep it right here. We've already taken a couple breaks. We've got the halftime break coming up as well. But put your coaching hat on here, James. If you're Centennial High School here, if you're the Bulldogs and you're trying to punch it into the end zone, what are you drawing up here?
Well, I've seen so far from the last couple of plays that he likes to run the ball, doesn't he? So why don't you just put all the big hog mollies up front? All you need, Carrick, is I think you need half a yard. It looks like they're on the 1-yard line here. Go with a quarterback sneak. If it doesn't work, you can quickly set back up and get it going again. But I like the quarterback sneak here. Plotnikov has shown that he has been able to move around it back there in the pocket, but it looks like they're lining up in the shotgun.
Ball's on the left hash, 2nd and goal. Snap to Plotnikov, they give it to Hanley, and he's in to the end zone. He dropped the ball, picked it back up, but he'd already broken the plane with the football. The 2-yard touchdown run for Hanley, and well done. Good call, partner.
Yep, right up the middle. It's probably one of the easiest plays on the offense. Is all you need is 6 inches, go balls to the wall, and try and plow that defensive line. And that hole was wide open for Hanley that time. So good for momentum for the Bulldogs going into halftime with 37 seconds left, PAT pending.
And you're not asking your guys, you're not asking your offensive line to hold the defensive line off for 5, 6, give me time in the pocket. It's just one big push up front, get your guy into the end zone, and that's what they do. The PAT is up and through. It is 21-6. Centennial cuts the lead to 2 touchdowns, 37 ticks remaining in the second quarter. We'll take it. 30-second timeout and right back on ESPN 97.7.
For everything you need to keep your sports gear safe and secure, go to St. George Topper, offering tonneau covers, bed liners, WeatherTech floor mats, custom seat covers, running boards, and more. St. George Topper on the Boulevard. Don't go topless.
Tonight's action is brought to you in part by Intermountain Sports Medicine.
Welcome back to Warriors Stadium. 37 seconds remaining in the first half, and it's been a 2-yard touchdown run for Centennial, but a heck of a drive for the Bulldogs.
And that's how you want to do it, right? You fail the first. I mean, you don't ever want to fail, but if you do, you want to end the first half with a strong ending, and that's exactly what the Bulldogs did. It wasn't a big play that really got them down the field. It was a little short play here, a little short play there, and really taking what the defense gives you, and they really didn't get uncomfortable back there. So it was a good overall drive for them to really narrow this game just a little bit. You still got some ground to cover up, but it's definitely a step in the right direction.
21-7. I remind you that the InfoWest halftime report is coming up. And Centennial will kick off for just the second time today, and they'll squib it to the left side. And Samaje Thompson picks it up, and he finds some space across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Do I see a flag sitting at the 29-yard line on the far side?
And it almost looked like, Carrick, that ball was going maybe out of bounds, and then maybe Samaje saw something at the last second and was like, hey, maybe let me make a play right here. But unfortunately, it looks like they're going to get hit with a holding call.
It's one of those plays that your blockers on that return, they're expecting it to go out of bounds as well. So the next thing they know, their return man has the ball, and he's racing down the sideline, and you're just reaching out. You're just trying to get hands on somebody, and someone got their hand caught in the cookie jar. 31 ticks remaining. If you're Snow Canyon, open it up, you fire one deep here, and just see what happens, or just run it.
I always like to.
I mean, when you're playing Madden at home, and you just Hail Mary, run them all down the. They'll probably run it here.
I don't know. He's the only one in the backfield.
Empty backfield doesn't mean he can't run it, though.
Correct. Might be a little screen pass over here on the near side.
Here's Kelly. Pump fake, loads up, fires deep downfield, and it is incomplete. Had a receiver there who had a step on his defender, but the pass was just a little bit to the left, and it falls incomplete. Alex DeLeo was the intended receiver.
You know, that is a play that I do remember them running last week for that. They had a long touchdown play because that open or the middle part of the field was so wide open after that pump fake from Kelly. It almost paid off right then again.
25 seconds to go until halftime. Feels like these last couple of minutes have taken forever. Kelly is going to throw again. Flag flies. Pass is complete across the middle to Conrad Green.
It's going to be holding.
But we've got a flag. That must be the guilty party. That's the lone warrior still back at the original line of scrimmage saying, hey, guys, sorry, my bad. We got holding. So wipe it off the board.
And that was a possible field goal situation, not from right there at the midfield, but now you're about 15, 20 yards away from being in field goal range. And now you're at 17 seconds or so. Now you're looking at a very long shot here. I wouldn't be surprised if, well, I don't know. They've been aggressive the first two plays here. Who knows? Maybe they're going to try and go deep again here.
I mean, at this point, now the ball's at the 10-yard line. So if you're in the shotgun, you're catching that ball at the 5-yard line. A lot can go wrong here. I mean, Tank Kelly wants to probably just chuck it down the field, but I think they're going to need it. Oh, snap. Kelly will kneel it, and that'll do it for the first quarter of play. Snow Canyon sprints out of the gate, 3 touchdowns in the first quarter. Since then, the Centennial defense has really stiffened. And on its final drive of the first half, the Bulldogs found the end zone to cut it to a 21-7 ball game. We have got a game on our hands. Don't go anywhere. But first, we're going to take the long halftime break. We're going to take a 5-minute timeout. When we come back, it'll be the InfoWest halftime report. We'll give you Region 9 updates, Wilkinson stats, and we'll get you all up to date and recapped on the first half of play here at Snow Canyon. Warriors 21, Bulldogs 7. 5-minute timeout and back.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
See Hearst first for all your around-the-home needs with Ace's Red Hot Buys. Get organized with a 6-foot shelving unit for just $59.99 and save $40 instantly on select DeWalt tools. Ace pleated air filters are buy 3, get 1 free. And get 10% off when you buy 4 grilling sauces, seasonings, and rubs. Find specials throughout the store at Hearst General Store Ace Hardware, conveniently located in the heart of downtown Cedar City and St. George.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
At Johnson Pediatrics, they know a child's early dental experience can have a lasting impact. So being able to provide a fun and positive environment that's kid-friendly is what they believe in at Johnson Pediatrics Dentistry. This allows them to build long-lasting relationships. Dr. Cody and his team at Johnson Pediatrics always make your kids feel right at home. Take advantage of the $79 new patient special that includes cleaning, exam, and x-rays. Call them today, 628-0511. Johnson Pediatrics, with 2 Southern Utah locations to serve you.
Give your home a stunning, easy, modern update this summer with Ideal Home and Paint. Panel-up design wall panels at Ideal Home and Paint offer countless possibilities to creatively design your interior with natural accents. Whether you prefer a modern, luxurious interior or a modern style, our wall panels can be adapted to any decor. Beautify your home this summer with Ideal Home and Paint. 4096 South River Road in St. George. Your locally owned and operated home decor experts since 1975.
When you think of Bucks Ace Hardware, you probably think a great place to get tools and hardware, and you're right. But what you may not know is the second that you walk into Bucks Ace Hardware located at Dino Crossing, you see that it's so much more. Like a gun department that's sure to take your breath away, a garden center for all your outdoor needs, a great selection of board games and toys that can't be found anywhere else in Southern Utah, and best of all, you're always greeted by a friendly face. Because at Bucks Ace Hardware, you're treated like part of the family. So go see them today.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Are you feeling the heat this summer? Don't let it get under your hood. As temperatures rise, your car's engine deserves extra care. At Tink Superior Auto Parts, they understand the importance of keeping your vehicle running smoothly in the excessive heat. The friendly and knowledgeable team at Tink Superior Auto Parts is here to provide you with top quality auto parts, ensuring your car stays cool and reliable during these scorching months. For those who take pride in the details, they offer a wide range of top-notch car detailing products, from waxes and polishes to interior cleaners. Tink Superior Auto Parts has everything you need to make your car shine like new. Visit one of our convenient and locally owned and nationally known Napa Tink Superior Auto Parts stores in St. George, Hurricane, Cedar City, Delta, Fillmore, Beaver, Panquitch, Parowan, and Mesquite to help experience the difference of personalized service and exceptional products. Let us help you beat the heat and keep your car looking its best.
Southern Utah's #1 indoor roller skating rink offers roller skating for all ages, a mini putting green, air hockey tables, and now excited to offer a new private party room with karaoke. Book your next birthday party or group event online at skatetherink.com. For upcoming events, follow us at The Rink on social media. The Rink is located off Dixie Drive at the Be More Sports Complex. Once again, check us out at skatetherink.com. Let the good times roll, Southern Utah.
Hi, it's Tyler with We Win Injury Law. People usually call us when they're involved in a vehicle accident, but there are so many other areas we specialize in. Long story short, if you've been injured, we can help. Maybe you've experienced medical malpractice, or a loved one has suffered nursing home abuse, or even a wrongful death. If so, call us today. You need an experienced injury lawyer who knows how to fight insurance companies. Unlike most lawyers, we are not scared to go to trial to fight for what you deserve. Call us today at 435-688-9558 for your free consultation, or visit us at wewininjurylaw.com.
You're listening to the InfoWest Halftime Show. Got a lightning fast look at the first half stats, big plays, and scores from around the region.
Welcome back to Warrior Stadium. Eric Segmiller, James Guerin with you on your hometown sports source, ESPN 97.7 FM. A good one brewing at Warrior Stadium, where Snow Canyon leads at 21-7 over Centennial. And James, a penny for your thoughts here, because early it seemed like Snow Canyon was going to run away with it. We're looking at some region scores here, and we will give you those scores here in just a minute, but we don't want to do it quite yet. But we thought this game was going to fall in line with some region blowouts that we have. Instead, Centennial has tightened things up, punched one into the end zone, and we've got a 2-score game.
Yeah, right off the bat, Snow Canyon came out firing on all cylinders, and all started off with the kick return to start the game off, setting them up at midfield, giving them a short field to capitalize. Boom, 1 touchdown. They get a 3-and-out stop. They get the ball second possession. They go down the field, couple plays, boom, touchdown. Then they come out and they get another stop. So it was just one good thing after another, and it seemed like, wow, Snow Canyon, they might go for a 50-burger here in the first half based on the pace that they were playing at early on. But the Bulldogs have had different ideas since then. They have made some changes. They have not allowed those wide-open receivers in the seam of the field. We saw Tank Kelly attempt one towards the end of the first half there, couldn't quite connect it. But the Bulldogs, since the first quarter, they haven't really given up the big play here. They've kind of tightened up on their coverage, and they've gotten to Tank Kelly a little bit. Not a whole lot, but they are bringing him down relatively close to the line of scrimmage, so they're not allowing him to do too much. We did see him kind of escape a couple of guys and make a throw down the field every once in a while here and there, but for the most part, Centennial has done their job since midway of the first quarter up until halftime. They have done a great job.
Great analysis there, and let's run through some Wilkinson stats for you. I never did get to finish my thought during the first half, but a lot of the teams last year and the years before were using a service called Digital Scout, and it allowed the coach, they had a stat person that would keep the stats during the game, and it would provide live updates. For me, I've called a ton of collegiate football and collegiate sports at NCAA Division I, Division II, NJCAA level, but the difference between high school and college is you've usually got a stat feed that is live updates, not just scores, not just updating after scoring plays, but you've got the live box score, you've got access to everything. Well, this Digital Scout was that, and it worked pretty well. Kind of without telling anybody, right before the football season, they announced, hey, we're not providing that service anymore. And a lot of the teams were scrambling. A lot of teams are just punching stats right into Huddle now, but you don't see those till they go back and upload them to Max Preps. But so we don't get a ton of in-game numbers unless we bring a third member of our crew exclusively just for stats. But what we can do for our Wilkinson stats for you is give you the scoring recap, and you did it quite nicely, James. But let's give just a little bit more detail. Snow Canyon took the opening kickoff, right, and drove down the field, and it was Snow Canyon converted on 4th down on the first drive. It was 4th and 10 or 11, and a long pass from Tank Kelly to Samaje Thompson. There was a penalty, brought him back a little bit, but they're still able to convert, and it was a 23-yard touchdown, 23-yard touchdown run for Max Reynolds. He started up the middle. Nothing was there. He bounced it outside to the right. Snow Canyon quick stop. They have it in plus territory already on their second drive. Couple plays later, Max Reynolds again, but remember you had the fumbled exchange. Reynolds picked it back up, scooped it up, ran to the left for a 20-yard touchdown run. Snow Canyon forces a quick 3-and-out, gets the ball back in plus territory again. A few plays later, who was it there? Conrad Green, right, with the 5-yard run off to the right side. And that's when we thought things were just, it was going to be a blowout. After that, Snow Canyon was marching again. Tank Kelly threw an interception. And then the Warriors had to punt several times and turn it over on downs one time. And the Bulldog defense stiffened. And then it was a big, long drive by the Bulldogs. Took a lot of time off the clock and punch it in. It was Ty Hanley with the 2-yard plunge into the end zone. And that's what brings us to where we stand at halftime, 21-7. And those are your Wilkinson's stats for you. Light it up, Region 9, I should say. Since 1946, Wilkinson's House of Lighting has been a fan of all Southern Utah sports, lights, fans, and fixtures. Contractors and homeowners always welcome at Wilkinson's.
And I wanted to talk a little bit about Vic Plotnikov for the Bulldogs. Yeah. We saw the stat line coming in. If that's accurate, that's a 70% completion percentage. And you could see, based on some of the throws that he's made here tonight, it's a little understandable why he is a 70% completion guy. He's throwing it right to his guys. And whether it's Tegan Whitehead or any of the other guys on the Warriors defense getting in front and deflecting the passes, and that we have seen a couple of drops as well from the Bulldogs. Probably should have made a couple of those for the first downs, but regardless, he's making those throws. I think that he's doing everything that he can possibly do to set up his teammates for success. But it's like the old saying, you lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it, right? You can throw the passes there, but if they don't catch it, it's not on you as the quarterback at that point.
When it comes down to whether, as a quarterback, whether you have time. I played not too much tackle football in my days, and I think that's probably why I'm still here. I never got it out of my system. But when I did play, I played quarterback, and I was the smallest guy on the field, and my offensive line couldn't block to save their lives. And I had no time. And you saw early in this game that Plotnikov had no time. He was flushed out of the pocket. He had to tuck it and run. He had to throw on the run. What you've seen the last couple of drives for Centennial is the big guys up front have settled in. We talked about how the defense had settled in, got their feet under them after the lightning delay and the travel and just catching up to the speed of the game. Well, you've seen the offensive line do that now. Now Plotnikov has actually had time to check down, to check his reads, and then if he doesn't see anything, then he can tuck it and run, or he can do whatever he needs to do with it. But it's all about the big guys up front, and they have made a big turnaround from the first couple of drives of the game to Centennial's last couple of drives before halftime.
Yeah, it could have gone a lot uglier for Centennial really early, but they buckled up and they said, hey, we're not going to go down easily. And that last second touchdown right before halftime, huge momentum booster for them, because it didn't seem like their offense was going anywhere. It looked very stagnant, didn't really have an identity to really work with. And then, boom, you get that punch touchdown in right before halftime. I think that is going to help them coming out into the second half, because Snow Canyon started with the ball, so we'll see the Bulldogs start the ball in the second half. And if they can get a 2-for-1, I like to call it a 2-for-1 because you don't have to give the ball back after you score. I mean, they did a little bit. We don't really count. We don't really count that, right? It was the end of the half, negative yardage. So for the Bulldogs, I'm going to make a prediction here. I'm going to say 6 plays, they're going to go and get a touchdown.
You calling your shot?
I'm calling my shot.
All right.
It ended very nicely. Now they got 15 minutes to look things over. Now they're going to come out here with a different game plan. Maybe throw them off guard here.
Big game James making his prediction here on the InfoWest halftime report. Last thing we got to do before our break, before the start of the second half, is Region 9 updates brought to you by Hearst Days Hardware. James, what do we got throughout the region?
So the other 3 games all in halftime as well. Crimson Cliffs taking on Cedar City. That one is all Mustangs. Carrick 42-0 as the Mustangs.
No surprise there.
No surprise. I think everyone expected that one. Hurricane and Dixie. Dixie is up 34-7. That one is at Flyer Field as well. And then the last Region 9 game of the night, Desert Hills Pine View. Carrick, the Thunder, 42-13.
Whoa.
At halftime. So 42 points at halftime. Kind of one of the more eye-opening, like, whoa, because Pineview's been on a roll so far. They put up 40 points 3 weeks in a row. I believe they're the only region team that can say that. And now here they are down 30. So,
and here's where it's an eye-opener. We're not shocked that Desert Hills has 42 points on the board. We know what they can do. They got Bullwall. They got a bunch of dudes on that team. Plus, Pineview has been in a lot of shootouts. They've had to score a lot of points in their games. But we thought that Pineview would do just that they would score. This is the number one scoring offense, the number one passing offense coming into this game in Pineview in the region, and Desert Hills has come in and just shut them down. In fact, Desert Hills, look at this. Pass defense coming into today's game by yards per game. Desert Hills was dead last, giving up 242 yards per game through the air. They've really, you can tell, focused on that. And they hold Pineview to just 13 points. We'll see what happens in the second half there. But, wow. Surprising over at Pineview as well. So we'll keep you updated on some scores throughout the rest of the night. One more thought before we toss the break here, James?
No.
All right. We're going to toss the break. This has been the InfoWest Halftime Report. Take a 60-second timeout and back with the third quarter.
Give your home a stunning, easy, modern update this summer with Ideal Home and Paint. Panel-up design wall panels at Ideal Home and Paint offer countless possibilities to creatively design your interior with natural accents. Whether you prefer a modern, luxurious interior or a modern style, our wall panels can be adapted to any decor. Beautify your home this summer with Ideal Home and Paint. 4096 South River Road in St. George. Your locally owned and operated home decor expert since 1975.
Tonight's action is brought to you in part by Fabulous Freddy's.
Welcome back to Warriors Stadium. Carrick Segmiller, James Guerin with you on ESPN 97.7, your home for all things sports in southern Utah and through the region, James. We've got the best in local in high school coverage. We've got the Utah Utes. Good win last night. Kind of an ugly win, but hey, a win's a win. We've got BYU on Town Square Media. We've got the Raiders. We've got the Jazz. We've got the Golden Knights. We've got it all. If you want sports in southern Utah, it's ESPN 97.7 FM. Snow Canyon leading it 21-7. Did they just put 3 more minutes up on the halftime clock? They had the junior cheerleader performances really slowed things down. Snow Canyon ran onto the field, and now they're going back. Maybe they didn't run onto the field in unison enough. I don't know. Cheerleaders weren't ready, maybe, to welcome the team back onto the field. Oh, you got a banner. We got to run through the banner.
Isn't that supposed to be a pregame skit?
A pregame, halftime.
Now, I've always heard of a pregame. You come out of the tunnel and you run through a banner. At halftime, you just come back on the field, do your warm-ups, let's get ready to go.
Centennial's nowhere to be found. There's some equipment over there still.
They're probably looking at the clock and seeing the 3 minutes.
Here they come. That was a long halftime. Oh, the banner's, is it upside down?
I think it's backwards.
There we go. We got it figured out. We got 3 extra minutes up on the halftime clock, so we'll continue to break things down here, James. We mentioned some keys to the game before we started the game. Tink Superior Auto Parts, keys to the game. Tink Superior Auto Parts is your hometown Napa store, your source for quality automotive parts for your car or truck. Let us use our knowledge to help you find the right vehicle battery, brakes, filters, headlights, wipers, and other parts needed to get your job done. We talked about the need for Snow Canyon to get Max Reynolds involved in the first half, and they did that. 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. You saw how effective he was the first couple of drives of the season. We talked about how important Plotnikov was to the success of the Bulldogs. I think you've seen both of those come to fruition. If you were going to name some updated keys to the game for the second half, James, where are you going with those?
If you're the Bulldogs here, I think you kind of have to replicate what you did on that last drive. You really have to look at that final drive, and you really have to make that the centerpiece of your offense. There wasn't a bunch of big plays down the field, right, on that final drive. They had to take what the defense gave them, even if that's the slant routes, the 5-yard ins, the hitches, whatever. you have to be able to make sure that you're not one-dimensional. You don't want to go deep every single play because then you're going to be predictable. Then the defense will switch to a cover 3 and make you beat them underneath. And that's exactly what the Bulldogs are probably going to have to do, is beat these guys underneath, because so far going downfield hasn't really been a huge success for them overall. And if you're Snow Canyon, I think it's pretty clear. Keep Tank Kelly the main piece of this offense and let him make the plays down the field, right? Because we've seen him break a couple of tackles, shake off the hog mollies, and be able to find someone out in the open field. So if we can see him do that a couple of more times, this may just be more than a 14-point game.
No Canyon, a 21-7 lead. Teams warming up for just a minute. Centennial's all lined up. They're out in the full line. Their whole team's out there doing some stretches, some running, getting back in. No Canyon's out set to kick it off. What are you counting, James?
They have 37 guys.
Yeah.
That's what I was counting.
I did notice that on the roster it was between 37 and 40 guys. Not a huge team. You may not always travel as many, but
that's roughly what my high school was, though. About 35 guys. Okay. Not a lot. Not a huge school by any means.
Now, you're from
the island of
Hawaii.
Oahu. Yep, Oahu.
I knew that. What school did you go to?
I went to Kalaheo High School. So
nice.
not really a profound football school by any means.
But hey, what was it like growing up in Hawaii?
Oh man, I love answering this question.
You surf?
I body surfed.
Okay.
And a lot of people are like, well, what is that? It's when you just basically treat yourself as the board and you get inside the waves and all that. People can still consider that a sport if you want, but it's fun though, and I definitely do miss it. But that's probably what I miss the most is the beaches, right? Because when it's 110 out here, I just want to go to a beach, but we can't do that, right? You got to go to the St. George pool.
Did you ever skimboard on the beach?
Is that the flat thing that you throw on the tide?
You throw it and you run out there and jump on it?
Oh, yeah.
Now, you can do that in the Virgin River here. It's a little different. You're not going into the waves.
Well, I feel like there's a bunch of rocks in there, no?
Well, there's a place called the Waterfall. Check it out. Although I did hear there were some algae blooms in there this year, so proceed with caution. Second half is underway, and a side-by-side kick will bounce off the up man, and he's brought down at the 25-yard line. And a big hit will start the second half. So the Bulldogs will start at their own 25-yard line. Now we go back to our InfoWest halftime report. James predicted some good things for Centennial on this drive. He's certainly left the field in the first half with the momentum. Does it continue?
I said 6 plays. I liked what I saw from that last drive in the first half. You've had a little bit of time now to catch your breath and to get your energy back. Now you're fresh. Now you have to treat it like it's a 0-0 game and not panic just because you're down 2 scores. There's still a lot of football left to be played here.
Now Plotnikov has the troops back onto the field. 11:54 to go. First play of the third quarter from scrimmage. He'll throw a slant inside, and it is caught by his guy in the middle of the field, Dale Flores Jr. He's targeted Flores Jr. a number of times late in that second quarter. Now early here in the third quarter, he'll pick up 6 yards, second down and 4.
And you can't be upset at that, right?
No way.
6 yards every play, that's going to get you a first down every 2 plays. So not the worst thing in the world, but you'd like to see them maybe go a little bit past the chains.
We'll see if Snow Canyon can slow down the Bulldogs. Here's Hanley. End around left side. He's got room to run. Picks up the first down and more. Needed 6 for the first. We're going to give him 9 on the play. Out near the 40-yard line. Stepped out of bounds at the, we'll call it the 38. But a first down still for Centennial.
And the left tackle made sure that the defensive end was crashing that time because Centennial was a designed run to the left side off the left tackle. So the left tackle did his job, made sure that DN crashed in.
Went out of bounds, so the clock is stopped. Pistol formation on first down for the Bulldogs. High snap, brought down by Plotnikov. Give right up the middle to Hanley. And he's got 3 yards. Second down and 7 upcoming for the Bulldogs.
And I'm thinking maybe for Centennial, these are all just setup plays, right? So let's set up one way to the left, and then boom, let's set up one way to the right and see how the defense reacts. And then maybe on the third, fourth play of the drive, that's finally when you take your shot. You know what you like to see.
They're going to give to, no, he didn't give to Hanley. He held on to it and fired to the left side. It was complete, but no gain on the play. And it'll be second down. Check that. Give him maybe 1 or 2 yards. Well, Hanley, no one was by him. Either Snow Canyon could tell that Hanley didn't have the ball quickly or what, but Hanley could have had big yards on that play, but Plotnikov kept it. Second down and 8. He'll step back, fires across the middle, pass complete. Ahern gets rid of one defender, and now he's tackled out of bounds, and that's going to be an easy flag for the official on the near side. And that was it wasn't your typical late hit. And Ahern is down on the Snow Canyon sideline to boot.
Yeah, he ended up actually hitting the bench after the roll.
Now, when you think of a late hit on the sideline, you think of a high velocity, a collision, and you just smash somebody out of bounds. But the Snow Canyon defender, William West, had Ahern locked up from about the numbers to the sideline and then kept going and kind of spun him around. And the hit still wasn't huge,
a jarring
but he
hit.
Tossed him to the ground and into the bench.
It looked like, after he hit the ground, because I did hear it. I did hear him hit the actual bench on the sideline.
And you hate
it might have been his back, maybe.
You hate to see that because Ahern has been a big part of the offense, not only tonight, but all season long for the Bulldogs. They're going to attend to Ahern on the Snow Canyon sideline. Both teams have taken a knee. Let's do this. We'll step away. We're going to take a 60-second timeout. 10:06 to play, third quarter. 21-7. Snow Canyon leading it. 60-second timeout for the injury. And back.
When you think of Buck's Ace Hardware, you probably think a great place to get tools and hardware, and you're right. But what you may not know is the second that you walk into Buck's Ace Hardware located at Dino Crossing, you see that it's so much more. Like a gun department that's sure to take your breath away, a garden center for all your outdoor needs, a great selection of board games and toys that can't be found anywhere else in Southern Utah, and best of all, you're always greeted by a friendly face. Because at Buck's Ace Hardware, you're treated like part of the family. So go and see them today.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Welcome back to the game, brought to you in part by Buck's Ace Hardware.
Indeed, tonight's game is built by Buck's Ace Hardware. Stop by Buck's today for power tools, grills, and the best gun department. Go check them out. Dino Crossing in St. George, Santa Clara, and Hurricane. Ahern is up and was able to walk back to his sideline under his own power. And you hope everything's okay. He's able to return as quickly as possible. Of course, safety is everything. And now we've got the penalty call for the late hit. And so not only do you have the 4 or 5 yards gain, but you're going to tack on 15 yards on the end of that play. And now Centennial in business at the 39-yard line.
First play out of a break, why not, Carrick? Take a shot here. Why not?
And they just may. 10:06 to go. Early third quarter, 21-7, Snow Canyon lead. High snap, they'll give to Hanley. And they're going to say, hey, if it ain't broke this so far in this quarter, don't fix it. Pickup of between 2 and 3 yards for the Bulldogs, and they've gone to Hanley early and often here in the third quarter. And if you're Centennial, what you're doing here is you're establishing, keeping the momentum on your sideline. You're chewing some clock, and if you can culminate it with a touchdown, well, you're right back in business. We'll see if the Snow Canyon defense can stiffen up, force a punt. Plotnikov has his man. Middle of the field, incomplete. Little bit of contact. No. Receiver wanted a flag, not going to get it. And it falls incomplete.
I think the no call is the right call there, Carrick. It didn't look like Snow Canyon was trying to get in the way of the receiver that time, but it was just a little bit underthrown. And he did turn his head at the last second, so I think it was a good call that time.
It was Zen Coleman, the intended receiver, and Plotnikov had him. if he makes a throw out in front of him, we're getting ready for a PAT right now. But he had to, like you said, turn and try to find it. On third down, here's Plotnikov. He's going to tuck it and run. Gets a block to the 25, the 35, and the 30. Sliding across the 25 near the 20-yard line. And the chains will move for Centennial. Now, do we have a flag on the near side? There it is right there, sitting about the 28-yard line. Now, where that flag's sitting, the first down is going to stand because it would have happened after. Now, is that about the spot that he got kind of the big block to free him up a little bit? I didn't see anything wrong with that block, but Snow Canyon was able to chase him down and force him out of bounds. Plotnikov has the ability to do that. That's the first time we've really seen him tonight tuck and full-on just run. He's a dual-threat guy that came into tonight with the most rushing yards of anybody on the team. And we saw the speed and the athleticism there. We're still waiting on the call. No indication which way it's going. They're going to wave it off.
That's what I was thinking.
Flag.
I was wondering if they were discussing whether or not it should be picked up or not.
Yeah, you had a couple different guys in there. Hey, what'd you see? What'd you see? Okay, let's wave it. Big run for Plotnikov and the Bulldogs. 9:17 to go. Fresh set of downs for Centennial. And who would have thought that the non-region game would be the most exciting game on the Region 9 docket tonight? And we had some people ask us why did we choose this game? There's Desert Hills, Pineview. We could see the potential in this game. Here's Plotnikov. Pulls it down. He's going to run again. And he's pushed to the ground, but not before he picks up 11 yards on the play. I tell you what, I've been watching some classic football highlights. They just popped up on my feed, my Twitter feed or X feed, whatever you call it, the other day. What left-handed quarterback does he remind you of while he's scrambling? Former NFL guy, long time ago.
What, Tebow?
Maybe a little too far back for your time. Steve Young.
Okay,
He's holding the ball out in front of him. Pump fake on first down. Will dump it to Hanley out of the backfield. He's at the 5. Runs over a defender at the 4. And his tag team brought to the ground at the 3-yard line.
I mean, it looked like he was almost in that time. Had a couple of linemen set out in front of him. It looked like he was going to make that backdoor cut into the end zone. But good adjustment that time.
I mean, you've seen the classic highlight of Steve Young running against the Vikings way back in the day, and he's pointing where to block, and he's stumbling. I mean, Plotnikov, he's looking like the legend. Steve Young was my guy growing up. I'm left-handed. He's left-handed. I wanted to be just like him. Plotnikov flushed out to the right side, fakes it, diving for the goal line, and he's just short. Knee came down before he could really stretch out and break the plane. It's going to be 3rd and goal from the 1. And if you're the Bulldogs, you just dial up that same touchdown run call.
Yep, give it to Hanley. Give it to him right in the middle and let him pound right through that. You only need half a yard again. I think you even need less than what you did the first time. And Hanley is back there.
7:40 to play in the third quarter. Centennial checking all the boxes on this opening drive of the second half. High snap. Here's Hanley bulldozing his way through. Did he get in? No signal yet. They're going to say no. A goal line stop by Snow Canyon, and they rise up and stop it.
I wouldn't be surprised if they ran the same exact play.
I mean, they're on the half-yard line, and they're going to go quick. And they go, nope, they're going to fake it and throw, and he's stopped at the 2-yard line. A turnover on downs. The pass was complete to the far side to Mason Garza. And Makayo Swinson with the tackle of the night to light him up at the 2-yard line. They faked it to Hanley going up the middle and then threw to Garza, and he was stopped short of the goal line.
Unsportsmanlike conduct was the flag that they threw.
Celebration, of course, half the distance will take you from the 2 to the 1.
What a stop there, though, from the Warriors that time. Not letting the play action fool you, and the man on the outside staying home to his receiver, not biting on that. Perfect execution. He wrapped him up. That was a textbook tackle.
And talk about a momentum swing. The referee had to make a correction. Was not against Centennial. It was against Snow Canyon. But, boy, you talk about a momentum swing. Centennial was half a yard away from punching it in and having it be a one-score game. And a goal line stand by the Warriors. They've got it on their own 1-yard line. Dangerous position here for Snow Canyon. High snap to Kelly. He'll leave it with Reynolds. He's got room up the middle, across the 10, across the 15, nearing the 20-yard line. And how about a pickup of 14 yards for Max Reynolds out of your own end zone?
Yep, that's exactly what you want when you're pinned down deep, is give it to the big guy, let him find the hole, and he went into that crease perfectly for another fabulous Freddy's first down.
Shades of the first drive of the game for Snow Canyon. Just give it to your guy, Max, and let him do some damage. And a great push up front. Shout out to the big guys up front. On first down, they'll go to Reynolds again, off tackle right side, and he's wrapped up and brought down. He'll lose a yard. Second down and 11 upcoming for the Warriors.
And the Bulldogs defense, ever since that first quarter, they've bent quite a lot. They have not broken yet.
Yeah, Snow Canyon scoring all of its touchdowns in the first quarter. And they find one here in the third. Kelly, out route, left side. Conrad Green makes the catch. He'll pick up 5 yards on the play from the 19 to the 24-yard line. And Snow Canyon will still need 4 yards for a first down. A line to gain is the 28-yard line.
Now, I know that was just like a 5-6-yard play, but 3rd and 6 a lot easier than 3rd and 11. Now your playbook is open a little bit more. Now you can throw some more things at the Bulldogs here on this crucial 3rd down.
Yeah, Centennial's still in a spot where you get a stop here, force a punt, you're right back in business. Snow Canyon going to go trips to the near side. Samaje Thompson is the lone receiver, split out to the other side. Kelly looking for Thompson. He finds him across the 40, 45, off to the races, and tackle from behind. Should be a horse collar tackle. No flags. The defender chased him down and grabbed him right below the helmet and yanked him to the ground. No one from Snow Canyon is arguing the play, but a huge gain for Snow Canyon and the patience from Kelly to find his guy and thread the needle. First down for Snow Canyon into Centennial territory to the 42-yard line. Quick snap to Kelly. Fires to the right side this time. Pass is complete to J.T. Westbrook. And he's brought down after a 5-yard pickup. Second down and 5 upcoming for the Warriors. It's interesting, James, how one play can really seemingly change everything. Of course, you mentioned the 5-yard out route to Conrad Green and how much that opened up for the Warriors. And you saw that on the very next play.
Right, that play call may not have been a thing on 3rd and 11.
4:35 to go, third quarter. 2nd and 5. Kelly's going to keep it. Bangs off one defender up the middle. And then is brought down after a pickup of 2. Third down, and we'll call it a long 4 upcoming for the Warriors.
I'd like to see another play action rollout here from Kelly, because it's been working, especially with Samaje being as quick and elusive as he is. He's been able to get separation from the defensive backs for the Bulldogs. So you see here, there's no deep safety coverage right now. And Samaje's one-on-one on the bottom end of our screen. I wouldn't be surprised if they try a shot here for the end zone.
3:56 to go. Third down and a long 4. They'll give to Reynolds, and he plows his way up the middle. And he'll pick up 4. It was a long, we call the long 4. It's probably more like 5 yards. So he'll pick up 4, and his 4th down and 1 upcoming.
So Samaji and Tank just did a little hand signaling to each other right here, because as soon as Tank handed that ball off, he looked over at Samaji, and he was already behind the cornerback on this near side. I'm calling it right here. There's going to be something here at the bottom end of the screen. No deep help.
One-on-one, Samaje Thompson with his defender. Far left side, 4th down and 1 upcoming. Kelly, a read option. He'll keep it, and he's got space up the middle. Needed 1 yard. He'll pick up 6. And the Warriors have a Fabulous Freddy's first down, and the drive continues.
Doesn't that just make your life so much easier when you're an offensive coordinator and you got a guy that can do that on a play-to-play basis? What a sniper, what a weapon that Tank Kelly is for this offense.
And the Snow Canyon student section agrees with your analysis, James. Jumping up and down once more. On first down, Kelly pump fake, slings it near side and into the hands of the intended receiver, Cale Johnson, and his hands, he just looked at him after and said, "Oh, you failed me." He dropped it to the turf.
He might have been expecting a deflection right there, right? Because that was a really, really tight window that Kelly was trying to force that one in there. And I think the receiver was trying to take the deflection into consideration. And those are so hard to try and expect a deflection, and then it doesn't happen, and boom, it's here before you even realize it.
Clock stopped, 2:41 to play. Third quarter, and we talk about Tank Kelly and his running ability. We talk about his great arm. How about his ability to throw on the run? I mean, this guy, he's just got it all, and he'll fire a little screen pass to the left side. Pass is complete for a big pickup. We'll call it a 13-yard pickup on the toss to the left side to Bryce Barnes, who has given Max Reynolds a spell. And mission accomplished for Barnes.
We've seen a lot of those swing passes here today from Snow Canyon and allowing the outside receiver to kind of hold on to that block on that first corner. And Samaje Thompson, excellent job in holding on to his man without drawing a flag here. Anytime you're a receiver and you can shield off one of those blocks, it's a good day.
On first down, back to Reynolds. Starts up the middle, angles to the right, and he'll pick up 2 yards on the play, 2nd down and 8 upcoming. So Canyon has done a really good job of setting up the pass with a run on this drive. And watch for a toss to the end zone.
You know, and having
here on 2nd down.
And having a quarterback that can move like Kelly, it makes it hard for the defense to guess. Hey, are they going with a quick pass here? Is he going to take off right away out of the shotgun? You never know.
2nd down and 8. They'll give back to Reynolds. Right up the heart of the Centennial defense. Still on his feet and into the end zone. From 18 yards out, it looked like he was stopped, but he said no way. Plowed his way forward into the end zone for the touchdown. It's a hat trick for Reynolds, his 3rd of the night.
And then how he had 1 defender, 2 defenders, 3 defenders trying to drag him down. Kind of reminded me of Jerome Bettis a little bit, the bus, as he's just dragging defenders across the goal line for him. And what a game. The trifecta, throw your hats out on the field. I'm kidding, this isn't hockey.
It works for me. I called it a hat trick already. All red with a PAT. It's up and through, and Snow Canyon has yanked the momentum back to its own sideline. Warriors lead it by 3 scores, 60-second timeout and back.
At Johnson Pediatrics, they know a child's early dental experience can have a lasting impact. So being able to provide a fun and positive environment that's kid-friendly is what they believe in at Johnson Pediatrics Dentistry. This allows them to build long-lasting relationships. Dr. Cody and his team at Johnson Pediatrics always make your kids feel right at home. Take advantage of the $79 new patient special that includes cleaning, exam, and x-rays. Call them today, 628-0511. Johnson Pediatrics, with 2 Southern Utah locations to serve you.
Tonight's action is brought to you in part by Appliance Wholesalers Plus.
It's the Max Reynolds Show at Snow Canyon High School tonight. He's got 3 touchdowns. And none of the 3, James, have been easy.
No.
It's been start up the middle, cut it out right, break a tackle, pick up a ball off the turf, run and score, and just carry an entire defense into the end zone for the 3rd touchdown. First returnable kickoff of the night for the Bulldogs. It's taken at the 5-yard line, and he's brought down out near the 20 at the left side. Good sight to see for Centennial. That was Ahern on that return, so good to see him back into the game after being shaken up on the Warriors sideline earlier.
Yeah, that was the first time, like you mentioned, that they've been able to take the ball off of a kickoff today, and it still didn't really hurt them. They're still at the 20-yard line anyway. So either way, you take it or leave it, it's the same thing.
Here come the Bulldogs. And at this point for Centennial, you were all in. Your chips were all in on the last drive. You get stopped at the goal line, then give up a score. Got to be a little deflating, right? We'll see how they bounce back. Platnikov forced out to his left, but throws on the run. The pass is complete to Silbernagel, but he's brought down immediately, and he will get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain.
Both teams seem to be using the swing pass routine. I guess it kind of just negates them handing it off because it's a highly completable pass.
And here's Platnikov, hangs in there and finds his guy across the middle. Mason Garza makes the catch, but only a 3-yard pickup. Platnikov was 6 or 7 yards deep when he made the throw. And so it'll be 3rd down and 7. I mean, I don't know if this is a fair comparison or not, but I feel like in a lot of regards, a lot of ways, Platnikov is the left-handed version of Tank Kelly in a lot of ways. Good on his feet, good on the run.
He's just not having the same time on the offensive line.
Here he is on 3rd down, across the middle, ball tipped into the end zone, intercepted. Snow Canyon with it. Here's the Warriors, 30, 25, 20, 15, and he's brought down. The interception by Diesel Smith off the tip drill, and Snow Canyon back in business.
Oski, right? As soon as they get that ball on the interception, what do? They turn into lead blockers, and they try and pave the way, and they got him all the way up to, I believe, the 15-yard line. But now, what a way to end the quarter for the Warriors, though.
Final play of the 3rd quarter will get Snow Canyon inside the red zone. Brought to you by the Hickman Lending Team. We'll take the timeout, 60-second timeout, in the start of the 4th quarter on ESPN 97.7.
Southern Utah's #1 indoor roller skating rink offers roller skating for all ages, a mini putting green, air hockey tables, and now excited to offer a new private party room with karaoke. Book your next birthday party or group event online at skatetherink.com. For upcoming events, follow us at The Rink on social media. The rink is located off Dixie Drive at the Be More Sports Complex. Once again, check us out at skatetherink.com. Let the good times roll, Southern Utah.
Tonight's action is brought to you in part by Intermountain Sports Medicine.
Back to Warriors Stadium. 12 minutes on the 4th quarter clock. Eric Segmiller, James Guerin with you. Snow Canyon, after the Diesel Smith interception off the tip drill, is in business at at the Centennial 15-yard line. Tank Kelly hit as he throws, fires to the end zone. Incomplete. Samaje Thompson had it, but bobbled it and could not quite bring it in.
Man, oh man.
You talk about first play of the 4th quarter, just taking your hammer and the nail and driving the nail in the coffin in one play. That was it. And Samaje was there, just couldn't quite haul it in.
And you know he knows that. He should have came down with that one. That was an easy 6 written all over it.
Quick look ahead to next week. Snow Canyon will host Cedar in the Region 9 debut for the Warriors. And handoff off the left side on 2nd down. Bryce Barnes will take it back to, 2 yards past. Pick up a 2. It'll be 3rd and 8 for the Warriors. Desert Hills at Crimson. That's that rivalry game that's been brewing since Crimson has been in existence. So the Mustangs get to host this year after eking out a win, 21-14 at Desert Hills last year. And then Hurricane will go to Pineview. Here's Barnes again. No, it's Tank Kelly kept it on the RPO. And he swarmed. Did he get back to the line of scrimmage? Looks like he maybe did. It'll be 4th down and 8 at the 13-yard line. And here comes the kicking team. Ammon Allred says, yes.
Yep, Allred. I was just thinking that. There's been games
Kicker fans unite.
Where there's been touchdown. Finally, it's like, hey, I got a legit shot to make a lengthy field goal here. This one looks like it's going to be about from 37 yards.
Oh, the ball's going to be kicked right from the 20, so it's about 30, right?
Well, he's got a... Oh, yeah, 30. I always forget it's not... They didn't snap it from the 20. So it is a 30-yarder.
And the snap is good. The kick is away. And no question. I mean, that one's dead center on an NFL goalpost.
Carrick, you know Region 9 better than I do. Does he play soccer for Snow Canyon?
I mean, he bombed that one. Easy.
Oh, he does.
On the
I get him word that he does
goal.
play soccer. Getting where that he does.
31-7. Snow Canyon extends the lead after the interception. 10:26 to play in the fourth. 60-second timeout and back.
Feeling pain from a car accident? Go to Dixie Chiropractic, your trusted clinic. No worries. You don't pay if it wasn't your fault. Their experts ensure a hassle-free recovery. Visit them today for laser therapy, spinal decompression, ozone, PRP, Calmar therapy, and more. Your path to recovery starts at DixieChiro.com.
DixieChiro.com. DixieChiro.com.
Welcome back to the game. Brought to you in part by Buck's Ace Hardware.
Turnovers turning to points, and the Warriors capitalize on the first turnover of the night for anybody. We haven't talked about that. I mean, whoever wins the turnover battle usually wins the ball game, right? Snow Canyon 1-0 in the turnover battle right now, and they'll turn it into a 30-yard field goal for Ammon Allred. Now Allred set to boot this one away. His last couple kicks haven't quite made it to the end zone. Can he change that right here, get back to his early game form? And he's going to let this one rip, and that's easily into the end zone. Back to the Warriors' word mark, and it'll be a touchback. You get the juices flowing after the made field goal, right? I mean, take us through. I mean, you can get right in his head because you've lived that. You go out, you make the field goal, and then the next kickoff, you just bomb it, right?
Right. It is a little bit of the adrenaline that you get running through after you make a kick for sure, but there's nothing like the opening kickoff. Like, of course, it's cool to kick a bunch of kickoffs because that means you're scoring a lot of points, means you're winning the game. But there's nothing like that opening kickoff because kickers aren't hoorah guys, right? They're laid-back guys. But me, that was the one time I was allowed to get rowdy and let all the hard hitters, let them know that, hey, you guys got to cover me too, you know. I'm the quarterback of this play.
I'm going to kick this ball, and you better not make me tackle
make me tackle him, exactly.
10:26 to play. Snow Canyon, the 31-7 lead. Warriors in control. Hanley up the middle for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd and 6. Kicking a field goal, I mean, is it kind of like hitting a golf shot? I mean, like they always say, like, think positively, right? Because if you stand over and the last thing you think is, I'm going to hit the ball in the water.
Oh, you mean if you miss a kick and that's all you think about?
Just your thoughts as you're approaching the kick. I mean, is it you just here on 2nd down? We'll pick that up here in just a moment. Plotnikov across the middle, and he has his man down to the 40-yard line, and he makes the catch. Garza on the catch for the Bulldogs, and the chains move. I mean, are you even thinking about anything as you're lining up a kick?
The one thing that I'm thinking about is I hope my holder doesn't fumble the ball, right?
Because there you go. You're taking that energy and you're pulling it off yourself.
I'm not thinking of if I'm going to mess up,
yeah.
Right? I'm thinking if the guy holding the ball is going to mess up for me.
Swing pass right side is complete, and then just immediately thrown to the ground. That's Diesel Smith on the stop, and he'll lose 2 yards. So Smith really coming on here in the second half. He's got an interception, a big stop there.
He's had a couple TFLs, I believe, as well.
Clock rolling, 9:05 to play. Here's Platnikov. Lets it fly on the run, has his guy across the middle again. And is that Garza again? It is. The Platnikov-Garza connection heating up here in the fourth quarter. And the Bulldogs on the move again into Snow Canyon territory at the 40.
And Garza looks like he's just looking for open space at this point. And I'm sure a lot of these guys are probably doing that. Not really much of a game plan now other than let's just move this frickin' thing. We don't care how it's going to happen. Let's just keep it moving.
And on first down, pass across the middle is complete to Zen Coleman. And he'll pick up 7 yards before being chased out of bounds. Second down and 3. All at the Snow Canyon 33-yard line. Man in motion from left to right. Platnikov splits 2 defenders and gets out of the pocket and will pick up 1 yard on the play, but that was nearly a sack for the Warriors, and Platnikov somehow escaped certain sack.
And Flores Jr., I think, is picking up on what these cornerbacks are doing, because as soon as he saw his quarterback kind of roll to the right side, he kind of turned into a wheel route and was heading up the field behind the defensive backs. Little rainbow touch pass underneath. That's 6 points.
Clock rolling, 7:08 to play. Third down snap to Platnikov. Quick slant into the middle, and the catch made by Flores Jr. And they'll move the sticks on this beautiful September evening in St. George, Utah.
This drive is reminding me a lot of that final one before the end of the first half, right? They're hitting their short routes. They haven't really ran the ball too much on this drive, and that's probably because they are down multiple scores. But they are still allowing Platnikov to go out there and make a play or two if he needs to. But again, it's just taking what the defense gives them, and this drive and the last drive, they've been the best at doing it.
On first down, Platnikov chased out of the pocket on his feet to the 10, inside the 5, and wrangled to the ground across the 3-yard line. I'm telling you, I stand with my Steve Young comparison. Right there, the lefty, the ball out in front of him. He's pointing with it. He's telling his guys where he wants them to block. Spitting image of Steve Young on that run. High snap to Platnikov, gives to Hanley, and he's stopped. He gets 1 yard down to the 1-yard line. Second and goal from the 1.
You know, if I'm the quarterback here, you are the reason why they're at the 2-yard line. Don't give it off to the guy.
Call your own number.
Call your own number. Pound it up the middle yourself. You deserved it. You are the reason why you're down here. Take it in, big fella.
So second and goal for the Bulldogs. Read option. He gives it to Hanley, and Hanley dives in for the score. Second touchdown of the night, and Centennial moved down the field. Game not quite over. 5:37 to play in the fourth quarter. And it's 31-13 with a PAT pending.
Very methodical, well put together drive there. It looked very poised back there, and I know that Platnikov is the reason why that they even got down to the red zone with his feet, but nonetheless drove him down the field and made the score somewhat more respectable.
The PAT is up and through, 31-14. Warriors still in control. Take the 60-second timeout and come back.
Fabulous Freddy's has increased their speed for full-service washes. In a hurry? Get your vehicle vacuumed, the windows wiped down, and tires washed all in under 20 minutes. You want fabulous, fast, friendly service? Go to Fabulous Freddy's. And Fabulous Freddy's is still wiping every car and still giving 10 cents off a gallon.
Let's wash our cars at Fabulous Freddy's.
Tonight's action is brought to you in part by Appliance Wholesalers Plus.
Welcome back to Snow Canyon High School. Warriors lead at 31-14 over Centennial. And the Warriors will get the ball back, but impressive drive from the Bulldogs. Much like their drive to end the second quarter. They punch it into the same end zone, almost on the same play by the same player. And you just think, man, this game was, if you're Centennial, probably hard not to play the what-if game. Because you were half a yard away from cutting it to a one-score game and completely controlling the momentum. And then a goal line stand for Snow Canyon and a touchdown, an interception, and a field goal. And the next thing you know, if you're Centennial, you're facing a big deficit once more. Tank Kelly still in at quarterback. You surprised if you're
I'm a little surprised.
Snow Canyon fan?
I'm a little surprised, to be honest with you. Up 17. I mean, you've looked really good in this game so far. Unless you're in there to just simply hand the ball off. I don't think there should be any reason why Tank Kelly takes off right now.
Who's right next to him? Is that Max Reynolds as well? He'll give to Reynolds. .5:28 to go. Reynolds will gain 2 yards off tackle to the right side. And Snow Canyon can be content to just take its time, which, why not?
Right.
You're in control. Get a couple first downs on the ground. Just run this thing out. Warriors looking to improve to 3-1 on the season. This would be Centennial's first loss of the year after a pair of wins to open the season down in Nevada. Samaje Thompson makes the catch. I just saw a flash out there that I hope was
I think it was a camera.
I sure hope it was, because with 4 minutes to go, if we get a lightning delay, let's hope it was some flash photography out there.
Yeah, there's a bunch of students right here in front of us with their phones and the selfies and all that. We're crossing fingers that's what it was.
Now, are the football players going to call the student section out for not watching the game? Have you seen the music artists lately calling people out for taking selfies and a pass to the left side? Conrad Green has space. Across the 40, 35-30, 35-20, 10-5. Touchdown Warriors. And Snow Canyon putting the exclamation point on it with that pitch and catch from Tank Kelly to Conrad Green. And he took it all the way 80 yards to the house.
And that's what we've been waiting for all game, right? Is are we going to see one of those plays finally go the distance? And it didn't look like it at first. And then that end speed right at the end of the play to get that separation from the defensive backs. You can't coach speed, Carrick.
And the Ammon Allred PAT is up and through, and just like that, it's 38-14. Warriors answer the Centennial touchdown in a heartbeat. 4:07 to go, take the 60-second timeout, come back to Warrior Stadium.
If you haven't stopped by Wilkinson's House of Lighting lately, you're in for a brilliant surprise. Introducing the Wilkinson's Lamp Room. Come and shop an entire room dedicated to lamps. From simple to exquisite, you'll find just what you need to light up your home or office in any category. Wilkinson's House of Lighting, winner of Best of Southern Utah 4 years running. Come in and see our all-new lamp room just off Main Street, or find us online at shopwilkinsons.com.
Welcome back to the action, brought to you in part by Ideal Home and Paint.
Had to go back and check the replay. Officially 75 yards on the pitch and catch from Tank Kelly to Conrad Green.
And maybe that's why they kept him in on that final drive, right? Make the box score look a little nicer
That's
for
right.
them.
Allred approaches, and this ball fielded at the 2-yard line, angles to the right, and is tackled just across the 15 to the 16-yard line. Warriors lead it 38-14. PA announcer here at the field just made an announcement to everybody in attendance. Hey, we don't want anyone congregating on the field after this game. We do have some weather approaching. And if it's anything like the storms last night, you're not going to want to be out here when the lightning comes again. They're calling for it again, meaning in the weather forecast.
We're hoping the referees blink every time, we
may have just seen some, but with 4 minutes to go, I mean, I would say, is it like baseball? Like if you play a certain amount of the game, it can be considered official?
I think we should
vote
just
on
walk
it right
out of
here. Plotnikov, pass to the right side. It's complete. It's incomplete. He dropped it. So that's why the clock is stopped. If I'm the official, I'm saying, hey, that's a catch. Good catch, buddy. You got your arms under it. 3:53 to go, third quarter. Second down and 10 for the Bulldogs. Eric Segmiller, James Guerin with you. James, are you glad I didn't make you stand on top of the press box tonight to run that camera?
It would have been cool either way.
Plotnikov going deep, and it's incomplete. Amaro is the intended receiver. First time he's been targeted tonight. There was a brief moment where it's like, where'd the ball go? Did the defender catch it? Did the receiver catch it? Oh, okay, no, there it is. Incomplete.
Yeah, it was one of those instances
Third down and 10.
Where the ball kind of bounces right back up off the ground, where in one motion it doesn't make a funky bounce.
(38-14). Warriors in control late. Plotnikov stiff arms the defender, throws it away, and nearly intercepted. It falls to the turf. It'll be fourth down. But Ryder Holt had dreams of a pick six on that one, but he slipped and fell to the turf before he could catch it.
Yeah, he was unbalanced. He was on one leg. He had a defender on him. I think he was just trying to prevent a safety right then and there, but dangerous throw that time. But fortunately for the Bulldogs, falls to the ground.
Region 9 updates for us. What do you got there, James? This game's continuing to progress.
I got to click another refresh.
.338 to go, and Centennial going to punt this ball away on 4th and 10. Nice. Now they're going to fake it. He's back to the original line of scrimmage and then driven out of bounds. He ran a long way because of where he was in the punt formation, but it's only going to go in as a pickup of 4 yards before the turnover on downs. Hey, you can't blame him for trying. For just a split second, it looked like he might break it. The Snow Canyon defense sniffed it out. And Snow Canyon will take over at the Centennial 20-yard line. They're in the Hickman Lending team red zone already. And what is I believe it's 35 points in a high school game. A lead of 35 or more in the second half, and the clock rolls.
Is that right?
So we're at, 28 right now. One more touchdown.
So the Crimson game just went final over Cedar City, 52-7.
Okay.
That one is final. Desert Hills Pineview, that one's in the fourth quarter.
Oh, boy.
48-20. So a lot less scoring in the second half.
Oh, boy.
Oh, they
official
called it.
Timeout on the field to discuss weather conditions. I'm going to need something to eat here soon if we're going to be in for a... Oh, my goodness. They are calling a lightning delay. And that's it.
Oh, wow.
The game's over.
They're calling the game.
They just called it with 3:30 to go. We're done.
Interesting.
We thought we were going to have a lightning delay, but they said, hey, look at the score. Centennial's got to drive back to Vegas tonight anyway. And I think more than anything, they just want to get people out of here because of the intensity of the storm last night. They don't want to repeat. And you just pulled up the radar, James.
Vegas is getting dumped.
Vegas, Mesquite are getting dumped on right now. It's time to get this thing wrapped up and get out of here before it gets crazy. That means us too. So it goes final. The lightning delay will end it with 3:30 to go in the fourth. We're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, it's the Johnson Pediatric Postgame Report on ESPN 97.7.
When you think of Buck's Ace Hardware, you probably think a great place to get tools and hardware, and you're right. But what you may not know is the second that you walk into Buck's Ace Hardware located at Dino Crossing, you see that it's so much more. Like a gun department that's sure to take your breath away, a garden center for all your outdoor needs, a great selection of board games and toys that can't be found anywhere else in Southern Utah, and best of all, you're always greeted by a friendly face. Because at Buck's Ace Hardware, you're treated like part of the family. So go and see them today.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.